Parker Jr. Here we go with Ghostbusters.
Yeah, we're streaming. Oh, well. Yes, I am on. Okay, cool. Yeah, just making sure. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about the Hanz of Harkir Demon Mama drama. There's a debate. It's only 30 minutes, and apparently it's a debate with drama. It's a drama with a debate. We're gonna see, I guess, what the drama is about. But already, if you're looking at the thumbnail, okay? If you're looking at this thumbnail, here, let's take a closer look. Let's take a closer look at this thumbnail, because, like, I'm already noticing some interesting stuff. No, that's boobs. You don't need to see those, okay? You don't need to see those, chat. Let's see if I can actually do this correctly, and switch this. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna take, oh god. We're gonna take a look right here. And, let me see, let me smush this down a little bit, okay? Can I smush? I need to smush. Just so we can see the whole thing, okay? Look. Okay, so, I didn't recognize this at first, but somebody told me that this is Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Here, also I probably need to get your chat on screen, right? Let us, get that. No? It's not that. It's not that. It's not that. So I'm trying to push your chat on screen, but you can look at the thumbnail as we're talking about this, right? The thumbnail, somebody told me this is Goku from Dragon Ball Z, the movie, right? If it was Goku from Dragon Ball Z, the anime, I would recognize it. But they made a live-action movie out of Dragon Ball Z, and most true weebs, they know better than... They're not going to fuck with that, right? They don't... There it is. There it is. Okay, we got it. We got it. Okay, here we go. Here we go, everybody. And there's your chat, sort of. Wait, what's going on with this? Gonna have to shrink this down. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Shrinking. And expanding. And then we gotta take that Twitch chat off of screen. Sorry, chat. I was in a hurry to get this stream going. There it is. There it is. Hey, Impact. Hey, Middle Earth Marxist. Hey, German. Hey Heiko. You got mandatorily schooled in this debate. I don't know. Listen. I don't know much of anything about this debate, okay? But I do know that this is tearing up the charts. Hello to you as well. This is tearing up the charts. This is #1 with a bullet. This is what all the cool kids are debate analyzing right now, and it's about mandatory schooling. Now, if you know, Demon Mama's been kind of on a sabbatical lately, and I guess she did a stream where she talked to Denim's, Xander Hall, and Vosh, and she did some gaming with them, right? And she did a little bit of content with that. We watched some of the content yesterday that was her responding to Vosh about the neopronoun thing, and you know, I thought it's something that we like, that's near and dear to my heart as well. So I thought I'd cover it, and even though, you know, obviously, you know, she still hasn't apologized for suggesting my stalker did nothing wrong. I do tend to agree with her. Like, we do tend to agree on most things. That's kind of why it's so weird that she hates me as much as she does. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We've got this debate right now. So here's the weird thing. Okay, so look at this thumbnail. Wait, who returned to the sea? Look at this thumbnail, the shameless prequel movie. Yeah, I guess it was a prequel? I don't even know. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. Like, right? I know I've seen the Dragon Ball Z movie, but it made no impression on me. It made 0 impression on me. It was so fucking weird. Like, there was nothing about like, if you want to make a Dragon Ball Z movie about Goku, you gotta have the orange jumpsuit thing. You gotta have the orange gi. He's gotta have his thing, right? I don't think he had like a brown, he had a brown gi. And it was so weird. Anyway, I think this is from that. I think what Hanz did is he shipped his face into Goku, and then he turned Goku, or Mr. Geek, maybe. Let's say it's probably Mr. Geek. It could be someone else. If you know who's working on Hanz of Harkir's thumbnails, let me know in the comments. Because maybe it's somebody new. I'm not sure if he's a Mr. Geek client, or if he's a client of someone else, right? Because there is someone else that does do editing now, who famously photoshopped a bearded Wojak face onto Demon Mama's avatar, right? So they've been really transphobic against her, and it's a well-known, you know, trans med that belongs to like kind of a hive of trans meds. You know, she and her friends, that's sort of what they do. That's what they're about. Yeah, so that actually, if it's who I think it is, fucking with Demon Mama's face. Now look at Demon Mama's face now. It's been photoshopped. It's been altered. I don't think that's her eye color. And what is going on with her eyes? Chat, like, I'm not entirely sure, but it kind of looks like she's been photoshopped to look like Majin Buu. Now, it could also be Vegeta, if you're aware of the, okay, so anyway, I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan. Okay, I know this shit. And Vegeta also wore the M on her head, right? There's a arc of Dragon Ball Z where a wizard named Babidi controls people, and if he controls you, you get an M on your forehead. He like appeals to your anger or something like that. And Vegeta's got a lot of anger. Okay, so Vegeta was like a sitting duck for Babidi, right? And he controlled Vegeta, and Vegeta fought Goku, and I think he let off a Kamehameha, some kind of energy attack that like took out half of the crowd or something like that, right? And then they end up fighting and like this whole thing, right? So it could be Vegeta, right? It could be Goku versus Vegeta. Maybe that's what Hanz of Harkir is trying to call to mind, right? Because here's where I'm going to cut him a break, all right? This guy doesn't really know Dragon Ball Z. In fact, I would say maybe this guy doesn't know anime. Chat, I think we might have stumbled on, like, listen, I've already told you that Hanz of Harkir is, you know, kind of went to the dark side when he brought on Infrared as a guest. He brought on a genocide-denying Nazgul as his panel guest, right? Normalizing that shit. Normalizing the Red-Brown Alliance, normalizing genocide denial, and everything else that goes with Haas. And if you watch, if you're a No Comment Chick fan, you know what's wrong with Haas, right? So this is one of the first people to bring Haas onto a panel, all right? So already a sussy baka, but you know what's worse, Hans? Because like maybe if you had made a heartfelt apology and said like, I realize what I did wrong, I understand the power of platforming, I understand how things get normalized in the space, and I fucked up. I made a mistake. I don't like genocide denial, and I'm gonna bite the bullet now, right? I'm gonna apologize, right? Then fine. We all live and learn. I've made mistakes on Bird Brains. I brought Eris onto Bird Brains, for fuck's sake. I brought Merrick onto Bird Brains multiple times. Yes, I've definitely made some mistakes with paneling too. So, you know, I'm willing to forgive Hans. But Hans, this I cannot forgive, okay? Hans, I'm going to call it right now. Hanz of Harkir is canceled. Not for bringing on a genocide denialist, but because he's a fake weeaboo. Fake weeaboo. Why is he a fake weeaboo, chat? Dragon Ball Z the movie? Dragon Ball Z the movie? This motherfucker wanted a Dragon Ball Z reference and didn't know shit about the series because only a fake weeaboo would be like, Dragon Ball Z, authoritative source. Oh, I know, the live-action movie. The live-action movie. That's the reference everybody's gonna get. I'll make myself like Goku from the live-action movie. Nobody watches the live-action movie. The live-action movie is a crime against all that is Dragon Ball, okay? So, fake weeaboo, you need to turn... Hanz of Harkir, listen, Hans, if you're watching, okay? You need to turn in your Pokemon gym badge, okay? You're a fake weeaboo, and we fucking caught you, okay? But, you know, also, there's a silver lining to this, because, you know, if I knew for certain that you were making Demon Mama into Majin Buu, I would say you're being a little bit fat phobic. I would say that you're fat shaming like you're weight shaming Demon Mama, and that's not cool, okay? Because Majin Buu is like Majin Buu's defining feature is you know, being a plus size supervillain, right? And you know when you're that's problematic, okay? But I'm gonna say, we don't know for sure that Hanz of Harkir even knows who Majin Buu is. Because Hanz of Harkir is a fake weeaboo. So Hanz of Harkir, although it sucks to be cancelled for being a fake weeb, you kind of dodged the bullet there. You kind of dodged the bullet. Chat, I'm going to let you decide what's going on with this thumbnail, because I don't know. I'm not going to say anything conclusive. Like, is there something weird going on with Demon Mama's eyes? People have pointed that out. Is that problematic? I don't know. I'm not the arbiter of problematicity. I am not the head official of cancel culture. I can't decide these things, but you take a look, you make your own mind up. What is going on with her eyes? I still don't understand why you'd put someone else's eyes into Demon Mama other than to make her look like Majin Buu. There's also some chance that this is blame the thumbnail person, blame the thumbnail maker, right? You know, maybe, I don't know. So I'm going to say Hanz of Harkir, let him go! Let him go! Let him go! Let's let him go for now. We don't know for sure that this is Hans being, you know, shitty. I mean, you are a fake weeb. I will get you for that. I will absolutely 100% get you for that. Fake weeb, turn in your Pokemon gym badge. But I don't know if the depiction of Demon Mama, like, it's weird, and I'm not sure what's going on with it, but I'm not going to make the call right now. I'm not going to do that, because we just don't have enough information. Let's say we elect NCC as Supreme Arbiter. Be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. My best argument is a weird thumbnail? No, that's what we're talking about. Oh, hey! That's an herb, isn't it? Hey, how's it going? Maybe you could help us figure out who designed the thumbnail. Can you help us? Caught. Okay, you have like a, wait, no, that's not a spice. Is it bergamot? Okay, it sounded like bergamot, and bergamot is like a it's like some kind of citrus or something, right? I was thinking that you might be Melissa Flower Dreams, and I think that Melissa Flower Dreams might know a little bit something about this thumbnail, but you're not Melissa Flower Dreams, are you? You're not Melissa Flower Dreams, right? Okay, I don't think you're Melissa Flower Dreams. It's Begamot, okay? Not, and I really, if there's a reference in your name, I don't get it. But hey, if there is, post it down below in the comments. I'd love to know what the reference is. Maybe it's an anime I'm unfamiliar with, but Kat, can you at least admit to me that Hanz of Harkir is a fake weeaboo? Can we at least say that? Like, I think that should be uncontroversial, right? If you go to the Dragon Ball Z movie to get your Dragon Ball Z reference, you are not over 9,000. You are the Krillin. You are the Yamcha of weeaboos, right? There's a herb named bergamote. Is it like just like begemote? Maybe it's French. Oh yeah, I think Melissa's German, so maybe that's not you. They tried to make her Asian. Did they? Is that what went on? Can somebody help me with this? Listen, chat, if you got any comments about this thumbnail, I can't figure out. I do think her eyes look weird, right? Is that what's going on? Are they? And why would they be doing that? Like, I don't know. None of this makes sense. I'm not trying to cancel anybody, Begemot, if that's your real name, or Melissa, if that's your real name, right? I'm not trying to cancel anybody over a thumbnail. Like, I really don't know what's going on. I'm just asking the questions. Listen, I'm just here to ask the questions, okay? The Supreme Arbiter has spoken. It's a character from, Master and Marguerite, Nabokov. Okay. Not the other Nabokov book, though, right? Yeah, okay. I'll fuck with that. We're still okay. Okay. Yeah. You pissed. I think it's the less yikesy Nabokov novel. Yeah, no, it's Nabokov, right? Am I wrong? I'm gonna feel so silly. My Russian lit competency is not maybe what it used to be, right? Okay, so they didn't yellow her up, which is something. Wait, do they do that? Is this a thing? Wait, I just don't understand why they'd want to do this. Like, that one doesn't make any sense. Listen. Okay, I've told you, I'm not positively disposed to this guy, because this guy brought infrared on, all right? And that fucks up Twitch politics, right? Even a smaller streamer bringing on infrared normalizes him in that space as a debate bro, rather than just being a loud, angry Nazgul that, you know, if you really want to have a fucking spicy debate, I guess you can fucking have a debate with him, but don't fucking bring him on panels, because the dude is a genocide denier, right? You know, like, that was my previous disposition. So I'm not a fan of Hanz of Harkir, but at the same time, I don't want to jump into any conclusions about, you know, what's going on with this thumbnail or what's going on with this debate. It's Buglikov. Oh my god, it's Buglikov. Jesus Christ. Okay, so yeah, definitely not up to. There's only listen. There's only one Russian author. Okay, there's only one Russian author. Brothers Karamazov, Nabokov. Crime and Punishment, Nabokov. It's all Nabokov. He wrote it all. Chat. All of Pushkin's portfolio, Nabokov. It was all Nabokov, chat. It was all Nabokov. Just, this is the NCC school of Russian lit here. Okay. So anyway, you can tell from the side of her glasses, they are normally rounded circles. They pulled the corner up. Okay, wait. Do we need to like go into like depth in this? Do we need to like really look at this hardcore? Like, I don't know. I just thought it was a little weird. Somebody pointed it out to me, and they were like saying, like, is this racist? Is this like, are they trying to make her look like Majin Buu? Like, what's going on here? And I was like, I really don't know. You know, I really don't know. Okay, so what? Their glasses are normally rounded. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes. Okay, I see. So what you're saying is they kind of pulled the lid of her eyes down slightly, right? Now here, so what I was gonna say, as far as like, you know, being like as good a faith as possible for Goku here, right? Is that like you? Okay, so the worst faith, the worst case scenario is that her eyes were altered to make her look Asian, right? Can somebody give me a reason that they would do that though? Right? Like, is there a reason that the thumbnail maker would do this? Because it doesn't really make sense to me. I could see them trying to make her look more like, you know, Majin Buu, and that's problematic in its own way. Face shape editing? Wait, what did they do to her face? Jesus Christ, we're gonna have to, like, actually look at this. We're gonna have to actually, like, look at this now. Okay, I didn't mean to, like, I'm not usually a thumbnail analyst, okay, chat? Vamps does the thumbnails for me, okay? Vamps is my, wait. I was about to use the word Svengali for thumbnails, and then I realized, like, I don't even know where that reference is from. I don't even know, chat. I don't know lit as well as I used to. I can't believe I thought it was Nabokov. Okay, God. I studied that book. I didn't read the entire book, but like I did take a Russian lit course where we read an excerpt, I think, from The Master and Marguerite. It's not impossible that they were just trying to make her look mad. Okay, that's what I'm saying, is that, like, yeah, I don't want to, like, jump to any conclusions that are unwarranted here. I can't think of a reason that isn't problematic. I can't think of a reason that isn't problematic. Because they're racist. I guess that's possible. I don't really know anything, like, I've never, you know, seen anything that would lead me to believe that about, like, Hanz of Harkir, though, but I don't really know him. I haven't followed a bunch of his streams, like, you know, I don't know. I definitely don't feel comfortable, like, you know, making that assumption. That if that form, she should, if that's the form of her glasses, she should sue the optician. Yeah. Oh God, yeah. These are actually kind of, yeah, they're warped. They're not just like, you know, they're not just like pushed down. They're warped. So her eyes. What about her eye color? Like, I've had people, you know, kind of notice her eye color here, right? Is like, isn't this not her eye color? Like, somebody thought that they had taken a different set of eyes and replaced her eyes, but I'm not sure. It could just be squished, you know, it could just be squished. Part of the glasses is missing, correct. Yeah, part of the glasses right here. And that makes sense, because especially if that part was catching the light or something, you know, it could, yeah, that's not Boo anyway. Okay, is it? Wait. Well, I mean, it could be Vegeta, right? Okay, so the Majin demarcation, right, famously was, you know, incanted by Babidi. See, I'm a dragon. Aren't you glad you've got a real weeb, not a fake weeb, not a fake weeb, fake weeb, not even a real, like, listen, it's bad enough to be a weeb. It's bad enough to be a weeb, but to be a fake weeb, what the fuck? What the fuck, Hans? Anyway, getting back to Demon Mama, okay, well, I mean, you can't really tell. Like, I mean, if you're trying to make, you know, somebody look like Majin Buu, and you've only got their face, like, what about what she's wearing? Is that like supposed to be like? It doesn't look like Vegeta. Okay, could this be? Okay, maybe. Okay, look. Is her head superimposed on? Is Vegeta even in the live action movie? Can somebody tell me? Is Vegeta? I'm a fan of Dragon Ball, but I do not count the movie as that. Like, that is not part of Dragon Ball. That movie is not canon. That movie is a fucking crime against weeboos everywhere. Okay, that movie is terrible. It looks like the liquefied tool in Photoshop used on the eyes. Okay, so it's not DemonMama's eyes look to be a different color. So maybe it's since Hans used like Goku. I'm assuming this is Goku from the live action movie with retouched to look Super Saiyan, because he never goes Super Saiyan in the live action movie, which we also know because we're not fake weebs. We know this, Hans. Okay, this is I can't tell. Is this supposed to be like a gi? Or, and also, I don't have any frame of reference. If this is somebody from the live action movie, I don't know. Was Vegeta in the movie? What did Vegeta look like? Goku definitely looks different. Goku looks like nothing like you'd expect him. You don't get the orange jumpsuit. You don't get the orange gi that Goku is famous for. Yeah, the M is a symbol of subjugation to Babidi. Correct. He's a evil servant. Majin Buu is like a force of evil that was like made at the beginning of the universe and like locked away by the Kais, only by like the sacrifice of the Grand Kai, who got eaten by Majin Buu. He got absorbed, and when you get absorbed by Majin Buu, it's like he and Majin Buu's characteristics like fuse. So Majin Buu is a little bit different. Like Majin Buu back in the day was just a mean, lean, ass-kicking machine, just grappler from fucking hell, chat. Like the grappler from hell. Majin Buu was tough as nails, okay? And then he absorbed the Supreme Kai, and the Supreme Kai is kind of a bigger dude, and he's, friendly, and he's nice, and so you get this, like, mixture, he's got a weird, like, innocence. So you get this weird mixture of innocence and menace in Majin Buu, and then Majin Buu, like, splits apart, and the mean part fights the innocent part, and the mean part wins. And that's when Majin Buu goes fucking complete bonkers and kills everybody, and it's terrible. I think the best faith interpretation of this is they were just making Hans's debate opponents look goofy for the thumbnail. I feel like there's a lot of editors that do this. It's not that it's cool. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to look goofy, but listen, okay, here's my deal. Like, two theories, okay? Two theories, okay? Theory one. This is Goku. Goku's, archetypal opponent is Vegeta, okay? So this is Vegeta Mama, okay? Now, this isn't, like, the worst thing in the world that you can do, but in general, as a trans woman, I would prefer not to be, kind of like put into place of a male character, right? Now, this is not like a damning sin. It's not like, okay, Hans is clearly transphobic, fuck this guy, right? It's not anything like that, right? It's just like, it could be better. It's not ideal, right? It's less than ideal. Okay, so that's not good, but that's not, like, I don't know, it's forgivable, I guess, you know what I mean? It's understandable, maybe, but just, maybe don't do that, right? If this is Vegeta, right? If it's Majin Buu, though, then we have kind of another unsavory element entering into this, in that, like, it makes it seem like, so Majin Buu's, defining feature is his, corpulence and his, kind of, like, he always wants to eat candy, like, right? He's very much, like, kind of an anti, I guess you'd call it, like, an anti-obesity trope, an a fat negative, like, trope, right? And, like, that is kind of problematic, right? If that's what was going on. But I don't know. I'm gonna leave that for you all to decide. This is above my pay grade, okay? Like I said, Vamps is my thumbnail expert, and I will trust her to make my thumbnails. I just wanted to say that because some people had brought it up, and I wasn't sure what to make of it. I honestly am still not entirely sure what to make of it. That's kind of like saying it's kind of like that's kind of like what I'm saying. is I highly doubt it's supposed to. Yeah, I would doubt that too, because it kind of doesn't make sense. So it's one of the things you have to do when you're checking this stuff out is just like do a logic check of like, does it make sense that they would want to, you know, is there a line of like shittiness that would think that making Demon Mama look Asian was funny somehow, either to make, you know, fun of her or to make fun of Asian people? And it doesn't seem likely. Like, I can't figure out what that is. I'm not saying it's impossible, but, you know, I'm saying it's doubtful. Most likely, I gotta say it. If it's Vegeta, then there's no point in altering her eyes. They changed her eyes to look more like Majin Buu. So, take that as you will. Okay, I'm gonna leave the thumbnail discussion for later, though, because I don't want to get us hung up on that. There's a debate here. There's an actual debate here. In other words, if I click this right here, if I go clickety-click, if I go clickety-click, then they'll start to move, okay?
I genuinely did not expect, like, this level of actual bad faith from you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't...
Okay, so as you see, Hans, not Haas, sorry, I'm not trying to call you Haas, even though you platformed Haas. Let's see, this is, Hans's notes, and then, Demon Mama's not happy. So right off the bat, that's the clip that we start with. We know that Hans upset, or something upset Demon Mama.
I genuinely did not expect, like, this level of actual bad faith from you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't think you are.
I'm not.
I think you're exactly.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Okay,
and that's where we will end
right
this.
Off. I mean, like, I think this perfectly befits a fake weeb like Haas, right? You've got your Totoro, like, apron on, but you couldn't get an artist to actually draw you in the right style. Because you might not even know the right style because you're a fake weeb. And chat, if I'm going to go hard against Hans in this debate, it's going to be for the fake weebery, okay? That's the one thing that I can't forgive. Like I said, you know, like, everything else is like, you know, not great, but understandable or whatever. But this fake weeb thing, I'm not putting up with this. I'm not, as a true weeb, I feel like you are appropriating our appropriation of Japanese culture. And what say you to that, Hans? What say you? Listen, Hans, I challenge you to a debate on who is the biggest weeb, you or me. And I think I will win that debate, okay, Hans? Because you are, in fact, a fake weeb, and I will expose you. I will expose you in front of Twitch, okay? As the fake weeb that you are. Basic bitch, fake weeb. Kind of weak-ass future bass intro.
Alright, chat. Who's ready? Who's ready? It's time. We do a little debating. Hello, hello. You are live. How
Was
we
that
doing?
Why? Hello, my friend.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, so as you see, it starts off amicably.
Yeah.
Doing-
Seem pretty.
And I would have thought
Seem
so.
pretty
'Cause-
hyped for this. Huh?
yeah,
I'm
I thought they were
excited. We're just gonna
friends.
Have a good discourse. You know?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
Alright,
maybe
so-
not.
Okay,
It's not
let's do it.
totally.
Let's
It's
do
not totally
Where do you
friendly.
wanna start?
I mean, I don't know. We can start anywhere. Like, you're the one who put up the video and you know, put up the stream and whatever. You can start wherever you'd like.
Of
It's your call.
course. So let's start with the
So,
album.
Demon Mama, consummate professional.
Sure, yeah.
I think we both want to improve education, right?
Consummate
So I would
professional.
favor things
Sure, yeah.
like, say,
Hans, sussy baka, and a fake weeb.
like no homework, better
Mhm.
training for teachers, smaller
yeah.
class sizes,
Hell
more
yeah.
like more options, like not just like the memorization box, like some people in chat have like said. I think there's a lot
Yeah,
of
sounds
ways
good.
of currently fixing education, but I think
Mhm.
where we differ is that I still believe in mandates for some
Mm-hmm.
flavor of education, one of these types.
Well, yeah, because we have. It appears we have very different sort of perceptions on how the state should be involved in these sort of things.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Give me.
And I have a problem with a state demanding that children have to go to a school.
Does anybody know, did this come from Twitter? Is this like, this feels like, almost like Twitter drama, right? Just Google game theory thumbnails. Wait, what are we talking about? Oh god, did I miss anything in chat? Did I miss it? Let me catch up with chat here. I see Hans notes, Hans chat, and Demon Mama is where Demon Mama is off screen. This is pretty common with debate bros that, like, you know, it's a pain in the ass to get somebody, capture them in Discord and then put them on your thing. The other option is like a whereby, which could be sus too, right? You know, some people don't do it. Some people, and Demon Mama, you know, is the type that she's not going to get too bent out of shape. Like, some people want you to show them. Like, for instance, Professor Flowers, that was a stipulation for the Vosh debate. She wanted to be on Vosh's, you know, stream. She wanted to be, like, her image on Vosh's stream, because that, you know, gives you a different insight into, you know, kind of like her as a person. And, you know, she thought for whatever reason that would be advantageous to her. Demon Mama a lot of times does debates where, like, Hans is not on Demon Mama's stream, I'm guessing, and Demon Mama is not on Hans' stream, because it's more like just like, let's do the debate. Let's just, you know, this is the debate bro attitude, okay? Let's just do the debate. We don't have to be on each other's streams, right? And it's kind of a sign of good faith, I guess, to, you know, like, you're expecting to, like, not need to, like, right? Because if you're expecting, like, a rough debate, right, you might want to be on stream. It's harder for somebody else's audience to kind of, like, you know, dehumanize you, strawman you, misattribute things you say, you know, with false emotions that you're not actually showing, if your face is on stream. But it looks like Demon Mama and Hans trust each other decently enough. Hans, you need good optics. Demon Mama, fuck yeah. Okay, so there's Demon Mama people in here. There Demon Mama people in Hans's stream. If you wear big goofy glasses, be careful when you Photoshop people's faces. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, true. Demon Mama does that, though. She's aggressive. She's friends with Vosh, even though they loudly disagree. He is way too giddy. Yeah, he is. He is very giddy. I noticed that. He's very giddy. They'll do that to her either way. Well, okay, so am I misreading this? Is there already distrust here? Because people have expressed to me that they feel like Hans is kind of in that DGG orbit, maybe. And if that's true, then yeah, there's going to be no love lost between these two from the beginning. I thought they were friends, though. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought that they were friends, right?
School, especially a school system that's deeply flawed.
Yeah. So unless the school is quick question, would you be okay with mandates if school was perfect?
No.
Okay, so then that point doesn't matter.
I mean, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean that point doesn't matter?
You said, like, you had a problem with state.
She brings up that they are friends towards the end. Okay, so I wasn't wrong. Okay, yeah, this is what I understand, is that, like, you know, they were fine before the debate, and apparently things really went badly during the debate, so maybe not anymore.
Mandating, like, imperfect schools, and asked if you'd be okay with the state mandating.
Maybe set a clever rhetorical trap. That would be the debate bro thing to do.
Yeah, no, I said especially when they're imperfect. But
Okay,
yes,
so
I don't really believe the state should or the state has a right to force people to do something that is something like education. I think you can make a more salient argument for something like vaccines, where it's a viral vector, it's a force of nature that there's nothing that we can really do about, that people spread to other people. So I know the first thing people tend to go to on this, and I've seen this online.
This is interesting. For some reason, I expected them to be on the opposite sides than they actually are. Hans is pro-mandate, and Demon Mama is anti-mandate, right? I wonder what she's going to argue for instead.
Is would you support the state doing vaccine mandates? I think that's a really complicated question, much more in depth. On a larger scale, I'd say no, but that's because a vaccine has to do with spreading a disease to other people, and vaccines are largely valuable not just for the self, but for stopping a disease that's killing people. I don't think we can make that argument for school.
And I would disagree. I would say that a society where 15% of the population not knowing how to read or write in a society where it's virtually like necessary to exist in society, I would say that is absolutely atrocious. I think that like...
Oh, I agree.
Okay, so...
But I agree with you.
Okay, so if we agree with that, then my question is, I do not see any way that we can improve schools to the point where children will choose schools, or their guardians will choose schools, depending on like if we say the guardians are oppressing the kids as well. If people will choose to go to school.
So the notepad thing, that is kind of a Destiny tactic. Like that's something that Destiny does a lot. I wonder if Demon Mama's seeing this. I'm guessing not. So it's only his chat that sees this. Now, chat, I do this sometimes too, but I generally don't show it. Like, right, you won't see it. I'll have a notepad open. I'll be taking notes in a debate, but I don't usually show it to chat. Although I don't know, I could see doing that.
Over literally anything and everything else they can do. How can we make school literally the best?
I think that's like a bit of an odd like hypothetical to set up, but like
but this is super necessary.
Hold on a second. Let's hold on a second. Let's.
Wait, what was the hypothetical? Did anybody catch that?
You stated that 15% of our society being illiterate and whatever, and I can't remember what the other thing that you said was, is really bad. I agree with you 100%. I just don't think that the solution is mandatory schooling. I don't think that mandatory schooling helps at all. I think that there's so many ways. If you can't imagine an alternative way besides threatening kids or their parents to get them to participate in school, I think that demonstrates the problem with the schooling system as it currently exists. School is like miserable for people, for a lot of people, especially neuroatypical people. And I say this as somebody who is not only neuroatypical, but also succeeded very well in school, and also grew up in like a cult. I don't think that mandatory schooling addresses any of the like meaningful problems that we have with education. All it does is mean that there are punishments for the child and their family for choosing to not, or deciding not, that they don't want to endure that system.
Okay, so let's like handle these separately. The first one is that we have a problem with the schooling system. Again, I agree with you. I don't think that's what we're debating on. You said you said that the school is bad for neurodivergent people. I am very much in favor of like improving school for people who either think differently or have anything else that makes school harder. I am all for improving it. I still want to mandate them to have school. And I know you said that like this, and so then what I'm asking is, how do we ensure that we get enough of society, because you agree that's a terrible thing. It's like if we have like a portion of society that can't read or write, how do we get them to voluntarily choose this like education system, or the new one, like the good one that we made, over literally anything and everything else they can do?
I mean, there's tons of ways to do that. Like literally, there's so many. There's like almost an infinite amount of ways to do that. You can entice them with interesting things, stuff like, I don't know, there's like a million ways you could do this. You could offer some sort of things like, I mean, one great example is like the free lunches is something that gets a lot of kids to show up to school. That's one thing.
Okay. You offer video games that are school exclusive, okay? And you have like a video game hour, and like they can't even play this shit at home. The coolest fucking video games. And it's like, I don't know, sometime like say 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's video game hour, right? And it's, okay, instead of recess, oh, I'm so bad at this, chat. I should never put me in charge of education. I was just spitballing, chat, but no, I went off the tracks really quickly. I took away the kids' recess to give them a really cool video game. I don't know. It's just like thinking, like, what would get me to like really want to go to school? And I was like, yeah, you know, if there's like a video game that you could only play at school, I would be super excited for that.
Because it addresses an economic issue that prevents kids from going to school. It really depends on which part of the school that you're trying, or which part of people avoiding schooling that you're trying to deal with. So, like, you can name a reason why somebody wouldn't go to school.
So her argument so far seems to be, like, listen, if you have to mandate people to go to school, there's something wrong with school. You know, children should want to go to school. And, I mean, it's some space to me. Yeah, schools are hell, especially for neuroatypical people. I've got experience with this as well. You know, I mean, I don't know. So right off the bat, when you say like stop the mandate from school, I'm kind of like, whoa, wait a minute, right? Like, so I'm naturally a little bit with Hans on this issue, right? Like, you're gonna have to actually give me something to pull me off of thinking that, like, you know, like, I don't know. I guess I haven't really thought about it, chat. It's just that, like, you know, I don't know. I hated school. I fucking hated school. If you'd asked me, like, as a kid, should school be mandatory, I would have said, fuck no. I haven't really thought about it since, and it seems like, you know, like what he's saying about, like, you know, there's necessary skills that you learn at school, like, I don't know, like, naturally I would be, like, yeah, you know, like, but again, I haven't really thought about it, and what Demon Mama's saying does, you know, make sense. If ending the mandate caused schools to become better for all students, and especially to address the needs of neuroatypical students, then I guess, and the net result was school got to the point where people wanted to go there. Like she's saying, there's free food there, there's, you know, kind of make them an offer that they can't refuse, right? It makes some sense. You know, she's definitely piqued my interest. This is not something that I've ever really thought about before, though. Like, as an adult, of course. School sucks. That means it means it needs fixing, not abandoning. His position is all about fixing it, but keeping it as something you have to do. Okay, so he's on board for what she's saying as far as reform, and like, I mean, there's something to her argument, though. There's something to the argument that if school has to be enforced, that there's something wrong with it. And, like, for him to say, let's make it better, that's great, but everybody's been saying that. Let's get class sizes down. Let's like you said, get rid of the concentration on rote memorization and teach students how to think critically and think, you know, teach them good, like, you know, kind of logical habits and stuff like that. Like, you know, give critical thinking skills, right? Like, would be great for, it has benefits for society on down the line when the student is old enough to vote, for instance, right? You know, the critical thinking skills are incredibly important for making decisions like that. So, but yeah, there is something to be said for the fact that, like, we all agree with what Demon Mama and Hans are saying as far as reform, and yet it hasn't happened. It hasn't actually happened.
And I can try to give you a potential solution.
Not to mention inequality in schools, depending on what your you know, what kind of a neighborhood you live in, whether, you know, your neighborhood's got a strong tax base or whether your neighborhood is poorer. The poorer schools, you know, are under-resourced often. What does a new system have to do with a mandate, though? Yeah, true. Schools already provide free food for low-income families. Also true. We need a new pedagogy, certainly, but there's no democracy without mandated literacy. I hated school too, but there are clear and giant merits in comparison to homeschooling. It's practically a tacit mandate that already gets people in school. Oh, a tacit mandate, the need for literacy. There's a lot of people that go only for the free lunch and skip classes. Damn. The lunch, I don't remember being that great. But yeah, it's better than going hungry for sure.
For that issue, I just don't think that, like,
I don't know about critical thinking.
Even in the absence of solutions to these individual problems, that justifies
Good point.
mandatory schooling. That justifies using the threat of law or the threat of the state against to force people who are deeply either suffering in school or who whatever reason.
No, I totally know what you mean. Yeah.
Don't feel like the school system is ideal for them. I think.
But you said that the suffering, like, and like the badness of the school is irrelevant to,
I mean, it's also kind of something that gets parents to you know, for me, it was like my parents that, like, you know, were the motivating force for me to, you know, go to school, right? So yeah, you know, if the parents are like, you know, one less meal I have to pay for, then that is definitely a plus.
Like the mandation of like people going like, what if we had
Need
like
school to eat?
Yeah,
you
so
got,
we had a million options where like.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
You
you
still
go
don't
to
get
school.
to. You still
True.
don't get to force somebody
Yeah,
to do that.
Okay,
you
but
don't
like
get to force
and some schools offer free breakfast as well. So
someone to go do something like that, especially with no reason. What reason do you see? Here's the thing.
I can give you the reason.
Wait, hold on. One of the things that's been annoying me about this conversation is that it's presumed that you must force people to go to school. There's nothing that says that you have to do that. There's no claim that you have to force people to go to school. What gives you the right? You have to give a reason for why you think someone should be forced to do something. If you're making the argument for why we should force people to do something,
oh yeah, good point, Vomir. Homeschooling, yeah. So basically, the mandate isn't necessarily that you have to send your kid to a particular school. The mandate is that you have to educate your child, and if you do homeschooling, I understand that there's like certain bars that you have to meet. That there is some state, I guess, oversight, but it's not particularly strong, and famously a lot of kids that are homeschooled by religious parents are you know, have just gaping holes in their like knowledge, and maybe even are taught, you know, things that that are pretty verifiably false, right?
you have to give a good argument
like New Earth creationism
for that.
Of course,
I don't think there's a good argument to force people. I don't think it's a good thing to force people to do something that's like...
That is definitely another thing that gets parents to send their kids to school.
quote unquote good for them. Because I think there's a huge problem with coercing people into like your particular like worldview. And I think that there's arguments that can be made. I think that there's all kinds of things you can do.
Homeschooling is a blight that leads to parallel societies. You can see it with white supremacists in the U.S. Yeah, and for people like I don't know what Demon Mama's schooling situation was like. I know that she says she grew up in a cult. Sometimes the cults will have like schools associated with them that are, you know, problematic as well, right? So that all still fits under the mandate somehow, right? I would never trust the general population to educate their own children. Yeah. And on the third day, God made the Remington pull-action rifle.
To convince people that your way of doing things is better. I just don't think that forcing them with the power of the state is the answer to that, especially in this particular context. I think there are places where you could argue that like force is more justified, and I think that we could run down that path. Like I said, natural disasters, plagues are ones where it's like, okay, if we don't step in here, other people...
She went to public school, as far as I know, and loved going to school.
People are going to die far beyond this person. But that's not the case.
Yeah, she mentioned she did pretty well at school. So.
With school. Yeah. You don't have that impetus.
Okay, so here are the two most basic reasons I can provide for why we should force somebody to go to school. All right?
Excellent.
First one, personal betterment. If ready? If existing in society is it is necessary to have a certain degree of skills, whatever those skills may be. It may be basket weaving, it may be hunting, it may be reading, writing, arithmetic. Any of those things, if you need it to exist in society, you probably should know it for your personal benefit. No. I let you talk for 5 minutes. Please let me go through. It's 2 points. Please, God. So it will help them do better in society, and for especially extremely young children, where these formative years are extremely important. I do not think they are personally capable of saying, "Oh, I will choose just to never go to school, and that's better for me." And
Where was my basket weaving school? Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I wanted my high school to be School of Rock. I seriously did. Like, I played in the, we had, like, a school, band that was, like, I mean, it wasn't, like, a rock band, but it's, like, you'd play, like, random classic rock things with questionable arrangements, and like, you know what I mean, they basically, it was classic rock tracks or like, you know, Beatles songs and things like that, but with like entirely too much instrumentation going on. It was cacophonous, but it was like a lot of fun. And my parents were always like, you can't go to like those after school things unless you're like doing really well in your classes. But they didn't seem to understand that, like, you know, part of going to school is having something you're passionate about that goes on there. And for me, that was music, right? And they used that as like, you know, no, that's the treat on top if you do really good. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not interested in this if I don't get to do, you know, music. So yeah, it's...
You're saying you can't force someone to do something that's good for them? But we argued, and I'm not gonna talk about the.
But to be honest, though, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I mean, I was interested in music and stuff like that. But as far as like knowing what I wanted to do, like, I don't think I would have been ready for like a school that was like, all right, this is what you're gonna do for a career. You know what I mean? Like, I took so long to like kind of figure out like what I really like to do, because I was good at English, but I was like equally good at math, and so, you know, there wasn't like a clear. You know what I mean? Like, there wasn't like a clear path for me. Like, oh, clearly this is what I'm good at. Let me go do this, or like, you know, this is what really, like, I don't know. Like, a lot of things caught my interest as a kid. Anyway,
the vaccine stuff, but
I mean, I think it's a poor comparison.
Okay, cool. I would say that in this specific case, being able to interact in society in a way that lets you like do literally anything inside of it, like you can't order food off a menu, you can't do like you can't like get a job, you can't.
You got me, Vomir. You got me. Yes, I just wanted Jack Black to be my teacher. That would have been so awesome. That would have been so awesome to have Jack Black as my teacher.
Can't like do hobbies that require this activity.
Sure. Okay.
And this will permanently like make you worse off. It's like if people don't learn to read until like 10 years old, it's harder for them to learn to read. So what are we going to do then? We're going to permanently allow people to cripple themselves in terms of their capacity for life because of that. And then the second argument is societal. If society requires people being able to do these things, read, write, basket weave, hunt, and we don't get them to be able to do it, society will functionally collapse because people have zero skills to keep the society functioning. I think those are two very good reasons as to why we should coerce someone. I'm not saying forcing someone to school isn't coercive. I'm saying it is necessary coercion for the like the good of society, for the good of like keeping anything existing. So I would ask, what would we do for the super young kids, for like the 3-year-olds who don't want to go to school? Are they capable of making that discussion?
Yeah, sure. Have you ever talked to a 3-year-old?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Because I don't know if you know this, but like as a matter of like child psychology, like children are actually pretty receptive to new things. They don't understand the world. They naturally seek guidance from parents. But this is like a reason, like this is discussed. This is so fundamental. Like we know this is why children are vulnerable to even negative things like abuse and things like that. It's because they trust their parents. They trust the adult figures in their life. And that trust right now is often taken advantage of and used to be really abusive, and that includes with the school system. You can tell a child, hey, we're going to go to school today. Isn't that fun? You're going to meet new friends.
Chat, do I like vape weird? I feel like other people, like, they blow it out differently. I just, like, let it, like, kind of... I'm weird, chat. I'm weird.
You're going to do this thing, and most kids, they're going to go. I don't remember a single time in any of me or my siblings' childhood where anyone had a problem going to school. It was ever even necessary to issue a threat, because we were excited to go there to learn, to have yummy foods, to meet our friends, to talk to our teacher who we liked. These are all things that can inspire a child to go to school. I would love to know what the statistics are on the number of times that the law has actually had to be invoked.
I remember liking school lunch up until... You know what? It was probably when I changed schools. Like, I went to this one school that had... Well, I thought they were really good. But I'm, like, thinking back to what we had, and it was, like... I can remember beef nuggets. Chat, did you ever have beef nuggets? Anybody else grow up with beef nuggets? We didn't have chicken nuggets. We had beef nuggets. We had beef nuggets a lot. The pizza was good, but it's that school pizza. It's, you know... But yeah, it was beef nuggets and like I don't know, some kind of like overcooked carrots and peas and like milk. Yeah, they were big on milk. They were really big on milk. Come on, take an extra milk. Would you like it? Would you like 2 milks? Yeah. Oh, yes. Like, let me have 2 milks. I don't know why I need 2 milks, but you know, is that a euphemism? I don't know. I don't know, chat. Is it a euphemism? Am I using euphemism? The square pizzas. Yes, yeah. With like that layer of like gritty like sausage underneath. You know what I mean? It wasn't like sausage, like whole kernels of sausage like you get at a pizza restaurant. It was like sausage dust. It was like sausage gravel or sausage sand or something like that, right? It was just like kind of just gritty, and I mean, I guess it's sausage and stuff like, yeah, I don't know. And it was all underneath the cheese. It was like, yeah, because that was weird to me too. It's like that the meat toppings were kind of, no, unless it was pepperoni. The pepperoni was on top. If it was pepperoni, it was good. I think I liked the pepperoni. I think I didn't like the sausage, but we'd usually have the sausage. We only got milk at school. That's a trauma that could convince me to make school optional. Do all American schools get free lunches? There's been issues with this, haven't there? I don't think it's universal. I think it kind of depends on the state that you're in, and even like it's something you have to no euphemism. It's something you have to like you have to sign up for it, right? It's not like you don't. It's means tested, I guess. Because not everybody gets it for free. Some cases of students being actively humiliated. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. For taking food when they couldn't afford it. Yeah.
For a child. Now, this is what tends to happen in this conversation, and this happened on Twitter quite a bit, which is that there is a sort.
I know I liked school lunch for a long time. But then at some point, like in middle school or high school, I got sick of it, and my mom would just always make me peanut butter and jelly. And it would be like peanut butter and jelly, chips, and apple slices would be my lunch. It would be something, yeah, something like that. Or like sometimes a whole apple. Sometimes a whole apple or a whole orange, or, you know, and the peanut butter, it would like always get smushed. So like you look at the like the bag, and there's like a little bit of like you know what I mean? It's like kind of wet on the bottom because the peanut, it was like wrapped in saran wrap, but it would always kind of get smushed a little bit. And I don't know, I kind of like smushed peanut butter and jelly. Do you know what I'm saying, chat? There's like a taste to smushed peanut butter and jelly, but eventually I got tired of that, and I think it was like she would put like luncheon meat on my on my sandwiches, and then like but that was dicey, right? Because if you put luncheon meat, then you're gonna put mayonnaise, and like I don't know, like it probably doesn't stay good that long, right? I mean, maybe the luncheon meat does, but I don't know. I always felt like the mayo would kind of go off, right? And so yeah.
Sort of switch, that a pivot at convenience.
Miracle Whip though.
Between
Miracle
like
Whip
a high
is
school
good.
kid
Oh my god.
or
chat.
a child that's like 3.
Can somebody check and see is Miracle Whip vegan? Is Miracle Whip vegan, or does it have eggs in it, right? Because Miracle Whip was fucking good.
3 years old. I don't think you have to apply any level of force to get a child to go to school. And if you do, then there's a reason. There's probably a reason for it. If a child is screamingly terrified of school, then you can go, okay, maybe school or standard school is not the right answer here. And you can have something else set up for them. Maybe they need a tutor at home because they have special needs. That sounds fantastic.
That's
but
not
what
abolition.
I don't understand.
That's not abolition.
Wait, that is absolute. Wait, what do you define abolition as? I would be really interested to understand what you think abolition.
In this case,
is.
if you're like abolishing the concept of like a mandated school system, essentially you're saying we're going to send a tutor at home. What if the tutor gets there and they say we don't want to do anything?
I always wanted Lunchables, but like I think like there was like probably like I don't know, once a year or something like that. They're like really expensive. Lunchables are actually kind of expensive, so like we didn't get the Lunchables, but it shouldn't be expensive. It's like crackers and like fake cheese and like I don't know, like it's Lunchable. I don't know. Why am I talking about Lunchables?
What? And you said like the parents. Again, this is like explicitly all anecdotal. That you said you had a good experience.
Water, soybean oil, and vinegar.
Yeah, I loved it.
Okay, cool. A lot of kids...
Okay, it's the vinegar. That's what makes it then. It's the fucking vinegar makes it. Oh my god, Miracle Whip is so good.
Kids do not. A lot of kids
I know.
hate going to school. And here's
your
the
position
second part.
advocates they should be forced to on threat of law.
Correct, because it is necessary for society. So excellent,
disagree
excellent.
with you.
Right, cool. So I let you talk for 5 minutes. And let me go. So, if you are saying that kids will willingly go to school if they, right now you say kids like going to school because you like going to school, but in the alternative world that you are suggesting, it is not mandatory to go to school, which means kids can choose to do literally anything else. And you are telling me, straight-faced, that they will choose to go to the school, even a fun school.
Demon Mama, I gotta say, as a kid, I would have been so on board for this. I would think, yes! I would have been so excited not to have to go to school.
Over doing literally anything else.
I didn't
consistently.
I don't know.
I didn't hate school. I mean, it depended, right? I think it all depended on the teacher, right? Because there were some teachers that were really cool. Like basically, okay, when you're a kid, when you're little, going to school means hanging out with like the same person for most of the day. There's like classes that you go to another room for, right, or something like a specialty class, but like most of it was in the classroom with your homeroom teacher, right? So that made that made a difference. And I'm trying to think. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I can think of like 3 teachers that I had who were really fun to be with. Like we had fun, right? Were there more? In grade school, there was like 3 teachers that were fun to be with, and the rest of them were kind of pain. The rest of them were stressful. The rest of them, I was just like always on my toes and always like, am I gonna get in trouble? Like, I'm not trying to be a bitch, but they would always give me bad grades for like behavior, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do wrong? They just didn't like my face or something. I don't know, chat. I don't know. They were mean. These teachers were super meanie butts, okay? They were super meanie butts to me, and it's not right. I don't know, but I get the feeling it's because it's like kind of a tough job to be a teacher. Like, it doesn't pay very well, and you're expected to do a lot. Some of the expenses that you incur for, just running your classroom, you yourself pay. You don't get paid as much money, but some of that money has got to go to like supplies, and like you can kind of cut corners, but then you're going to be judged against other teachers. Parents will see okay, like they've got all these projects up. Why doesn't my kid have a hand Thanksgiving turkey, right? And it's because like that fucking construction paper is expensive, and I don't get paid shit, right? So it's like understandable that somebody would not be, would be a bit of a meanie butt, given those circumstances, right?
Sounds like a really weird framing.
It's
like
not
the
a weird
idea
framing.
Wait, hold on a second. A kid can do anything, literally anything else. Okay, so like
my grade school teachers would write me up for small things, even though other kids do the same thing. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Is like the reason I don't like school is just like my first taste of social hierarchy, right? And like both in terms of the students, which like it like really depended. Like I remember being like pretty popular when I was young. But then I moved to a different school, and all of a sudden I'm the new kid, and I go from being popular to being, like, unpopular, and it was so weird. It was so fucking weird. And then, and I think I came in, like, halfway into the school year or something, which is even weirder, right, So you're, like, the new kid on top of the new kid. You're literally the transfer student in every anime. In every anime ever. Like, the teacher brings you up in front of the class. Class, I'd like you to welcome our new transfer student, Irene. And they're all, like, giving me the stink eye, right? I'm like, what? No, seriously. Like, listen, chat, this is how my mind worked as a kid. When I moved to a new school and went from being popular to being unpopular, I conceived an idea to write to my friends at the old school and say, listen, I need you to vouch for me. I need you to tell these kids I'm fucking cool. Can you do that for me? Can you let them know? They're treating me like I'm a Dorcas. And I'm fucking cool. I'm fucking awesome. And you should want to be my friend, and I'm awesome, and I'm great, and everything is, right? Just tell them that. They don't know. They don't understand. Please. Like, I really thought that my old classmates could write my new classmates, like, a letter and be like, listen, she's fucking awesome, okay? You're missing out. She's fucking awesome. And they would just be like, oh, I guess you're awesome. Okay, like, right? I really thought that could happen. Because I just did not understand the idea of being, like, well-liked in one place and, like, kind of a pariah in another place, right? It was super weird. It was super weird for me. Did you hate school, or did you hate everything that came with it? That's what she's talking about. Okay. Everything that came with it. You mean the social aspect of school? I mean, it depended. Like I said, when I moved schools, everything changed. And I don't know if it was really like a shitty school district or shitty kids. Like, that's what it felt like to me. But I'm guessing it was more just like I am now the new kid, and I'm like going to get treated differently. I'm going to get treated differently by the teachers. I'm going to get treated differently by the students. It was literally that shit. And being like uprooted and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think it's great for kids, but we didn't really have a choice. My dad he was working, the job he was working needed him to move. Like, it wasn't like a move by choice, or like we want to go here. It was like literally just like, your job is now in another state, are you coming with it? And he was like, yeah, I'm coming with it. I have no choice, right? So, we love learning. I did too. Oh my god, chat. I was such like an innocent little kid, okay? Listen, as a kid, I loved drawing butterflies. Okay? Like, and this happened, like, we had in first grade a project where the teacher, how the project where you cut something out and then you draw something, right? You make a craft and you're supposed to hang them up around the classroom, right? So she was like, okay, so this is a monarch butterfly. And I was like, just like amazed. I was like, it was so beautiful, right? And she was like, and you can draw it by you look at the picture of the butterfly and then you try, and I was like, oh, okay. And I started like drawing like this butterfly, and I got like, as a first grader, super just in depth. And the teacher just wanted us to be like, butterfly, you know what I mean? This was not supposed to be a long project, but like, I think I worked on it for days, right? And the teacher was like, okay, this is adorable. I love that you're drawing a butterfly. It's very, very cute, but you have other projects that you need to do, and you're sitting here drawing a butterfly. But I was just like so intent on it. And I did make a pretty good butterfly at the end of the day. I'm trying to remember if there was something that I wanted to change about it, though. It was like, but anyway, yeah, that was what I was like as a kid. You would vouch for me. Oh hell yeah. The worst part was the teachers would gossip about you in front of you. Oh my god. No, I'm almost more worried about like what goes on in the teachers' lounge, right? Because I think that's really where kids get blackballed, is in the teachers' lounge. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've never been in a teacher's lounge. I don't know for sure. But I get the feeling that that's where like the most damaging shit gets talked about you. And if you are like a bad kid to one teacher, you are forever going to be a behavior problem to like all the teachers, right? And I don't know what to do about that, because like, what are you going to do? Like, not let the teachers talk in between classes? I mean, they need to do that probably for their, mental well-being. There are levels, though. I think it means something very different. Oh, wait. What? The problem isn't coercion per se, it's the abuse of the system itself. That's a cute idea. Recommendation letters from your former classmates. Yeah, I thought it would work. I'm saying that long-term solutions involve education over generations. We need a generation of anarchism, decolonization, so that we can eventually shift into that. The idea that there is an authority now that is considered needed in forced schooling, we need to find a way to transfer away from that. It's the only way to avoid creating a system that of self-justified authority, which is self-reinforcing. This is an important part of the conversation, though. It's what anarcho-Bidenists like this kind of Hans miss with their perspective. I guess I don't see the legal mandate as necessarily authority. Well, it is by definition. Yes, state enforces it. I'm old enough that the teachers' lounge had an indoor smoking area. Whoa, oh my god, that's amazing. Did any of my teachers smoke? I don't think I ever saw one. I mean, obviously, like college professors, yes, but that's different. That authority of the state you live in, we live in a state, the United States, okay. The state doesn't force a state education, but an education writ large, though. The terms of the education isn't forced. It's the schooling itself. It's all part of a larger pool of colonial capitalists, though. As an aspiration, okay.
What they can do that now. Kids can already do. They're already creatures. Like, okay, let me ask you this, just so that I can get clear what you're trying to get at. Let's say you have a 6-year-old, okay, and it's time to go to kindergarten, and maybe you get them to go for the first day. Okay.
Wait,
and you
I got them to go? Like, is that coercion? Because when parents tell their kids to go to school... Wait, no, ask the question. Is when parents tell their kids to go to school, is that coercion? Like, is the parents, like, coercing the kids to go to school?
Are you... What's your goal with this?
No, it's a serious question. You said we can't coerce
people
to go to
school. Is
school.
that a serious question?
Yes.
Because it doesn't look like...
No, it's completely serious.
I mean...
Okay, so let's say... Hold on. When I say you get your kid to go to school...
Is it, like, the face that he's making that makes it hard to take serious? I can't tell.
Let's say you go, hey, 6-year-old, we have this brand...
He does seem to have somewhat of a shit-eating grin.
...new cool thing called school, and it's really great. You get to go do these things, and the kid goes, okay, daddy, okay, mommy, let's go to school.
Oh my god, no, I remember
and then
this.
They go to school.
I was actually really excited to go to school, okay? I was, like, really excited to go to school. Like, I remember, like, getting, like, school supplies for the first time, and, like, you know, them being like, you're gonna go to school, and, like, I don't know why I wasn't, like, more, like, you know, scared, or, like, you know, maybe, oh my god, chat, I might have figured it out. Maybe I just like the idea of being away from my parents. Maybe I needed a break from my parents, and that's why I was excited about school. I was like, yeah, we're gonna do, like, and it feels so adult, you know what I mean? It's like you're going to, like, compared to being... Does everybody remember this? Is this not a normal age to remember stuff at? I totally remember going to school for the first time. I totally remember, like, the process of, like, you've got to get the right pencils, and you're supposed to have a ruler, and you need the color... We need the crayons? We need the crayons! We've got to get the crayons! Like, I got, like, an 8-pack, but, like, I didn't know that the other kids were gonna have 64. I was like, 8 crayons! This is so... I was so fucking excited! I was so fucking thrilled, okay? The way that this argument is framed feels small in scope. It seems to be kind of lack a systemic analysis. 2 generations later, we had our first democracy. Wait, what? I mean, school mandate was unintentionally a big factor to bring democracy to Germany and topple the empire. School mandated by the Kaiser. If it still works that way, he's anticipating a huge dunk, massive own. Demon Mama, fall cringe. Now everyone knows Hans' moment. Yeah, well, let's see if he gets it. Like, what happens? I'm so excited.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you.
Wait.
What if they say no?
Okay, so wait, are they friends? Like, are they friends? Like, I don't know. I guess we gotta see what happens first, right? Like, they are friends, right? Like, or they were friends?
What do you think should happen?
They say, sorry, buddy. I know you don't want to stay home, but you should probably go.
Okay.
And if you,
all right, and then what if they wait? And what if they say no then?
You take them to school.
Okay, and what if they don't want to get in the car?
You pick them up and take them to the car.
Okay. So you
Oh
pick
my
them up.
God,
What if they
okay.
fight you on that?
Then if
Do you beat your kid?
no, I'm not in favor of child abuse whatsoever.
Okay. So what happens if you can't get them to go in the car because they're terrified and they don't want to go to school? Do you say, okay, let's wait until tomorrow and let's try this again.
And then
do
tomorrow
you
and tomorrow they say the same thing, and they keep doing this. This kid never gets an education.
Sure, yeah, that's really challenging. That's a really challenging situation. The answer that you have to answer here? I don't have to answer that question.
Yes, you do.
You think they should? No, I do not.
Wait, so I was wondering about this. Hans is DGG. Okay, somebody else told me that too. I honestly don't know the guy that well, right? If school isn't mandated, kids that have school as a way to get away from home and learn stuff outside their parents' biased ideologies is going to be hard. When parents can just force you home. Yeah, and that does happen to a lot of... Oh, I thought you were saying he is DGG. I don't actually know. I heard somebody else say that, though. You're not the only one who's... Well, okay, you're assuming it. Yeah, I don't know either. He's giving me DGG energy. So you're saying that this kind of construction of... I mean, I don't feel like are we on a logic tree? What is it called? Not a logic tree, chat. You know what I'm talking about? A logic flowchart. You know, are we on a flowchart? Is that what is that what's going on here? I didn't notice getting onto the flowchart, but maybe we're on a flowchart now. What is the word for this? It's not tree, it's a logic, like, I always say it wrong. It's a logic something else, but yeah.
You believe they should be forced to go to school. I believe we should seek out an alternative. If a child is terrified of going to school, we should seek out another way to teach them. Excuse me. If a child, yes, by and large, children are, but there are of course examples where this is not the case. Largely with children who have like severe behavioral or learning issues from childhood. Those things absolutely happen. So your belief is that you should physically pick up the child, force them into the car, and then what? What if they go to school and they're terrified and they're freaking out? What should you do then? I want to know what your view is. We should have the good
school. We should have the good school. And if that
okay.
And if that
so what if they don't like the good school?
Then they go anyway. I'll let them pick the best of all the bad options.
And what happens if they don't want to go so bad, they're so terrified that they try to get out of school? What do you think they should do then?
We have you can have people in this case. Let's be anarchists here. Let's say we have a community watch that if they see a child outside of school, they will escort them back to school.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about like debate broism, yeah, the desire to win versus the desire to uncover the truth or to deepen your knowledge or to yeah. That's the thing, is that like I like debates. A lot of people are really down on them, and I understand why, because debate has become a way of life. Debate has become a culture, and as a culture, yeah, it sucks. You know, it's not good as a culture. It's debate pros were a mistake, whatever, right? But we're also kind of stuck with them, and you know, it's like this is where the discourse is, unfortunately, and that discourse affects me, especially as a marginalized person. So I can't not engage with it because it feels too dangerous to just let it do its own thing. Because I mean, I've seen what its own thing is, and it's bad, and it's weird self-reinforcing cycle, chat. Like, marginalized people aren't part of debate culture, and so debate culture is awful to marginalized people, but the reason that they're not part of it is because it's you know what I mean? It's like it's a vicious cycle, and it's hard to break that. And anytime like somebody like me or Demon Mama does get close to sort of breaking into that, right? There's a lot of forces just ready to cancel us, just ready to push us out, just ready to like silence us, right? Especially if you're like me and you don't even have like, you know, kind of an affiliation. You're speaking truth to power rather than chasing clout. You know, you end up in a really bad way, and you get all kinds of lies told about you, and you know, you just become more of an object than a person to the debate world, right? Because the aesthetics of the debate world are to look at you as strange and alien, and you know, everything about your instincts. So for me, listen, like I said, I like to debate. I don't really like debate culture, but here's what's weird for me, okay? To me, there is no distinction between debate and discussion, okay? We got discussion, and we got debate, and if you're discussing something, and it turns out you don't agree on it, it turns into this, right? And if you're debating something, and it turns out you do agree on it, you turn into this, right? And most, like, talks should be somewhere in the middle of, like, we agree on this, this, and this, but not sure about this. So, you know, I don't like the distinction. I think that we should be able to play around in that space in between, and I think that's the most productive space as far as learning something, as far as moving our knowledge forward, right? And I do echo your concerns, chat, as far as the effect of the dominance paradigm on our discourse. If our discourse is defined by debates and debate bros, then we are stuck with a format that doesn't reveal truth, but rather obfuscates it, and gamifies the obfuscation, and puts prestige to the ability to cover up the truth, to manipulate the truth, to manipulate language, to change the framing. You know, we watched the Lauren Southern debate last night on Politically Provoked, and it was so gross. You had Avi thinking that he was winning a debate when I don't even think he knows who his audience was, right? And Lauren, like, literally conceding the debate. Okay, I guess you're right, Avi. I guess there's no point in having this discussion, right? She concedes the debate in a way that just basically pushes away all of his argument. What she did is she hit he said a bunch of shit that she didn't want to deal with. And she was like, haha, that's very funny, Avi. Guess what? Reset on, like, you know, you're playing Smash with somebody, you're about to beat them, pause, reset, you know, like, right? That's what happened on that debate. And that whole thing, it smelled like a setup. It smelled like Avi was chosen to, like, lose the argument. It felt like a setup to hurt trans people, right? To at the very least use, like, our issues as a political football. And so, yeah, no, I'm dead set against this, what debate culture has become, and I need it, I require it to become bigger and more expansive, and I think that that's the kind of thing that's going to be inclusive to more people, right? And in that vein, I guess it's as good a time as any to promote Bird Brains. Bird Brains will be this Friday, okay? This Friday at, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch. We're going to have a discussion about platforming, about, you know, the Lauren Southern phenomenon on Twitch, and, you know, all the rest of the way that these panels negatively impact marginalized people. We're going to be talking to Neutral AI, to DJ Mule, as well as to Christiosity. I don't know if you are aware of YouTuber Christiosity, but we are going to be talking to her for the first time on Bird Brains, which is coming back. That's right, because you fucking needed it. Because you needed it because of guys like this, right? And guys like Dylan Burns and Prime Kai and all the rest of those sussy bakas that are just, like, making our Twitch space more and more toxic. You needed something better, okay? And when I saw Politically Provoked and what they'd done with the format of the panel, I saw the exact opposite of Bird Brains. I went out of my way on the panel not to use the voices of marginalized people, the issues of marginalized people, as political footballs, but rather to give people an opportunity to hear about land back, for instance, from the proponents of land back, and hear what it really is without, you know, it getting scapegoat scapegoated. That was kind of always what we sought to do, and I just feel like the panels that are around are the panels that have given in to the perverse incentives of this platform and of capitalism itself in some ways. And I want to see if we can counter program against that. I think people are really tired of this shit. I think that people are ready for something new. So anyway, Chad, I feel like completely commandeered this debate. I am totally a pause, Andrea. Let us get back to the goddamn debate. And, yeah.
Okay, and what if the child says, I'm not going back to school, that place terrifies me? Even in the perfect
then
school
we can
system.
get them help. We can get them therapists.
Okay.
That's
How
not
do
an
you get
argument
them
for
help?
no school. The
Wait,
goal
hold on
of
a second.
DemonMama
We're
is
not.
to get
Don't jump
people to
ahead.
go to
Don't jump
school.
ahead. Don't jump ahead. If the end goal is to get people to go to school, I don't think that you need a mandatory system. I think there are other ways you can do this. If a kid is resisting to the point of like physical distress, I think it's fair to say, wow, there is something that is terrifying my child, and we need to go seek out a way to help them learn. A way to get them inspired in learning, whether we're able to talk them through it with maybe a counselor or a psychologist or whatever, or to come up with an alternative way. Maybe we could do a homeschooling process, and maybe
okay. What if they reject the homeschooling process? What if they jump out the window and try and run away every time?
That's a question. That's a question for
keep making this crazier, DemonMama.
No, we can't.
Okay,
wait, please.
A political position meta that risky to step out of. This carries over to whose ring you've got to kiss. That is true. That is actually that's a big part of it, right? And it is such a strange thing, because you've got on one hand everybody knows I've had my problems with Dylan, and we don't have to rehash those or anything, but like, I think the guy's on the left. He's not a leftist, right? But he's on the left, right? And it's kind of strange to see how much he's contributed to creating a right-wing ecosystem where none existed, right? People like CTV, Rob Noor now have their own followings, which would have never happened given just their natural charisma or lack thereof, right? These are no one, nowhere streamers. These are 3-viewer Andys, maybe more so with Rob Noor, because he speaks to a certain subset of the car rant dads, right? But that's all he was a car rant dad before, or an uncle. I don't even know if he's a dad. Before Dylan Burns got a hold of him, and this is. Can't wait to see a legit progressive panel. Hanz of Harkir be like, but my experiments.
Please, wait. Hold on. Please tell me what your solution is. My solution there, if a child is that opposed to learning, then there might, I don't even know if there is an answer that anybody can have to that particular situation.
Therapy. We should get them mental
Wait,
assistance.
sure, that's what I said. That's not mandatory schooling. That's not mandatory schooling. You're now offering my solutions back to me.
No. The end result is getting them into a mental state where they will agree to the mandatory schooling, DemonMama. That is the end result. Wait,
that's not the end goal.
Yes,
No.
it
Okay,
is.
so wait. Then that's where we differ. My end goal is not to force children into school. My end goal.
The funny thing is that Hanz is representing the point of view that I kind of naturally, without really considering it, had, but he's actually managed to make it sound slightly authoritarian. Like, this is the position, like, what Hanz is saying is, like, what I would have told you if you'd, like, I'm half awake and you ask me, without, like, in other words, without thinking about it, like, kids should go to school, I guess, right, but now hearing Hanz reflect it back, I can see, like, an edge. I mean, I'm not on, DemonMama's side, yet or anything, but, like, I can see, like, an edge of, like, so I mean, I guess that is, the way he just put it, it does make it sound more authoritarian.
Is for children to be as happy as possible, as liberated as possible, as educated as possible.
What if they don't want to go to
school? You're at the point of crying to go to school, then you don't need some type of mental health, because how can you properly You do need some kind of mental health. Sorry. How can you properly function in society if you literally can't go to school? Yeah. I mean, oh, he's not authoritarian. Don't get me wrong, El Mahone. I'm not saying Hanz is authoritarian. I'm just saying that, like, listen, like, that's the point of view that I had, okay? Just the way that he worded it, it like, had an edge of it. I'm not agreeing with, you know, Demon Mama here just yet, but,
My solutions back to me.
No. The end result is getting them into a mental state where they will agree to the mandatory schooling.
Okay, there it is. Getting them in a mental state where they will agree to the mandatory schooling. So there's just like this like assumption of like, I don't know, just like we gotta get them into the mental state where they will. I don't know. There's something that sounds so like socially, you know, almost engineered about that. I mean, we are talking about kids here, and I don't actually, like, I'm not somebody that's going to tell you that, like, you know, there's another way to, you know, kids should be doing this or that kids should be doing that. Like I said, I haven't really thought about it, but yeah, like, my natural assumption is, school, you know, seems like a good idea, but, yeah, I never really kind of thought about it as, I mean, except for as a kid, obviously, I thought it was, I wouldn't have wanted to, you know, but yeah, I don't know. This is weird.
That is the end result.
Wait, that's not the end goal.
Yes,
No.
it
Okay,
is.
so wait. Then that's where we differ. My end goal is not to force children into school. My end goal is for children to be as happy as possible, as liberated as possible, as educated as possible.
But what if they don't want to go to education? Every single kid. Let's say every single kid's afraid of the system. What are we saying?
Every single kid. Okay, so if every single kid is afraid of the system, then you have a failed system. That should be discarded completely, and we should start
and I think if one child is so like so scared and terrified mentally that they can't fit inside the existing mandate.
Yeah, it's more with his wording. Vomer. He's wording it poorly, but I think he's trying to say is to get them into a healthy mental state. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah, he's not trying to say it like that. It's just it was just the wording. It was just like an odd moment where it's like, oh, he does make it sound like forcing their minds into thought process. Yeah. That's what I mean. Is it like sounded like it sounded like Clockwork Orange for a second there, but that's not what he was talking about.
System will get them the assistance they need until they can fit back inside of it, because we both know this is so far removed from the majority of people.
Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. You're going off on a
what are we
whole
holding
tear.
on for? I'm ready.
No, you're going off on a whole tear. You're saying this is.
I'm going on a whole tear. I spoke for 10 seconds.
Wait, but you're going. Yeah, okay, but going off on a tear is not necessarily about the time. It's about where the hell you're going with the actual conversation. So if you want to talk about like. So you've revealed one thing, which is that you've said that the goal is to make them fit back into the school system. I don't think that that's a good goal. I don't think that's a good enough reason to justify anything. I don't think that
it's not good enough to justify therapy. We should just let them be terrified and scream the entire time. What about mandated therapy for people who are struggling? That kid doesn't want to go to therapy, Demon Mama.
Oh, absolutely fucking not. No, absolutely not. You think you should wait? You think you should just like put someone into an institution just because they don't agree with you or because they have a behavioral issue? Is that what you think? You think the state should force kids into an institution?
If they cannot function in society, they are a danger to themselves and everyone else. They are running away from their family. Absolutely use force to get them in a scenario where we can use all the experts and technology we have available to assist them. Absolutely. Home therapy. We can send a therapist to the home. But what if they keep escaping the home? We'll use the community watch to bring them back. If they don't want to deal with the therapist, they don't want to deal with any assistance.
Are you dealing with actual kids? It sounds like now we're talking about like kids from one of those 80s movies where the kids like, you know, run away and they like go to a cave and find a pirate ship or something.
Because they're so sad.
Are you sure you're not talking about 80s movie kids?
So scared. They can't go to mandatory school. They can't deal with regular therapy. They're going to run away from everybody. At that point, yeah, I would probably be okay with taking this child and putting them in a place where they can't escape from to get them the help they need. And so like this one super child.
Because you know those 80s movies kids, they're very good at escaping. They will escape any contrivance you put them in. They will find a way.
Child who doesn't
dragging the conversation to the most extreme possible hypotheticals in order to discredit an argument is so incredibly annoying and so quintessentially debate bro.
Fit inside this, like, doesn't fit
I
inside,
mean, that's
like,
wait. Before you get any further, that's your super child that you've invented. I
The
think
super child, yes. Okay.
No,
This child
your
that
super child, like, refuses to go to school. Like, why can't the child also
no,
just
my
refuse to go to
super
therapy?
child is that my wait, hold on a second.
Look, my super child is a weird champ, okay?
If you want an actual answer to that, I don't think this imagined super child exists or is even common, and I think it's such an outlier.
Right.
Trying to build...
And the same thing with the kids crying about going to school. Sure.
That's not true. No, that's not true. I'm sorry. I have to call you on that. I want you to engage with
Teen jailbreaks, yeah.
actual facts on this.
How
Go,
many? What percentage of the population? What population of children are like literally feral and will refuse to go to school in any capacity?
Wait, we're not talking about.
That's literally.
We're not talking.
That's literally what you're saying.
Okay, like again, like this is just getting to the point where I don't think that you actually are interested in engaging in good faith. I think you're trying to like.
Bad faith. I'm not trying. I'm legitimately
No,
curious.
wait, Hans, I'm dead serious right now.
I'm
this
also
isn't
serious.
memeing. This isn't memeing around. Like I think you're being in bad faith. I think if when I try to say,
chat.
wait a second, I don't think the.
Chat, any old school NCC fans here? Any old school Irene fans? Does anybody remember my debate with Mix Vivian? Was I like this when I was debating Mix Vivian? Like, this is reminding me of that debate. Like, because it was like, I was getting her on stuff, and like, I mean, I wasn't pissed. I was like smiling and laughing, but I guess it could have come off as a little bit mean. I mean, it did. It definitely did. It came off as mean, and I disavow my former debate bro self. Like it was bad. There was like, you know, I've admitted that there's parts of Mix Vivian's argument that I was able to roll over that she was absolutely right on, and my, you know, debatiness like didn't help reveal the truth there. It helped obscure the truth, right?
Feral child is a good example for how we should.
The issue is Demon Mama being aggressive the whole time without giving him time to speak for 1 whole minute. True. She has dominated the conversation. I mean, she's a debate bro, though. Yeah, that is true too. Yeah, that is one of the things you do is you grab that time, you make your case. It's baked into the cake of colonial thought, and nobody thinks about the authority we use. Generations of capitalist propaganda and education austerity make it hard for people to consider alternatives. Yeah, and I too maybe like sort of locked into that that I don't know. I mean, it's like more than just capitalist authoritarian realism. Really, is what we're talking about here. Demon Mama was the first one to bring up the super child. Okay, so her super child was what if the child doesn't want to go? What if the child what if the child really doesn't want to go? And like that was like the super child. And then Hans's super child was like, I am going to escape. You know, you lock me in the room, and then I like go through the vent, and I'm crawling through the vent, and I escape through the fire exit, and I'm like super child, right? We got a couple of super soldier children at our disposal now.
Structure a system.
This is a weird debate. I gotta say, this is a weird debate. Like, I didn't really like. It's first of all, like, you know, because it's an issue I haven't really thought about before, and I wasn't. You know, I have an opinion, I have a position, but you know, it's not really a well considered opinion or position. And anyway, yeah, good to see you.
Or why we should justify or not justify using force to force people to go to school. And your response is, well, feral child. No, I was just about to talk about the fact that, as it turns out, and you should engage with this. I would encourage you as a colleague and in a genuine.
I'm engaging. I'm listening.
Excuse me. Hold on. I'm not done with my sentence.
Okay.
That you should go and look at what the actual situation is as to how people feel about and are traumatized by and hurt by schools. Because I can tell you right now, it's not all butterflies and rainbows, as you seem to be like sort of laughing about when you refer to this feral child. There are a lot of children who deeply suffer. And excuse me, I'm not finished talking. I would love to finish my sentence. But all right, like I can see
Super Children 2, Hans versus Mama.
Where you're at with this. Like this is why I said on Twitter that I felt like you weren't engaging.
this did come from Twitter. Okay.
In good faith, because I really don't feel like you are.
Okay.
I feel like you have your position.
I can tell you.
I feel like you have your position, and you actually aren't. I don't think you're willing to engage. No. I don't think you're willing.
I told you all the
I don't
things
think you're willing
how
to
I think we can
engage.
improve the school system. But like, if we have the ultimate school system, and the kids are still doing this, they still did what you said. Again, you started the super child meme, not me. This kid.
No, you asked me. What about a child that refuses
This kid refuses to go to school. Like, excuse me. You're prescribing me things I haven't said. First of all, if we had the perfect system, I still don't think it would need to be mandatory. I think you could get near to or literally 100% attendance without ever using mandatory measures. I genuinely believe that. I think that's very possible. Absolutely fucking insane.
That's fine, but that's fine.
You can
wait. You can call me.
I want you to explain this point. I'll let you talk on this first. All right, ready? Okay, explain to me how we can make a system where school or education is so appealing that children will choose it over literally everything else in society.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure, for sure.
Please.
Yeah, it's super easy. So
Wait.
Wait. Look, have you ever seen Willy Wonka? That's what school should be like, okay?
If you're trying to say that why I think that that's the case, I think kids like learning. And actually, it's funny because if you're willing to actually engage with this in good faith, you can go and actually listen to the professionals on this. Professional educators know that kids love learning. Hell, we've had massive improvements in literacy and in general education since the introduction of computer technology because you can gamify things.
So
I see.
Wait, what was that? What was that meme?
So the math.
You're memeing.
So the math game.
This is why people don't like debating with Demon Mama. This is very gaslighting behavior. You know, chat. I had a chance to debate Demon Mama twice, but both times she was like, it was like she was pissed, right? And I just felt like I kind of know how this would go. Like, right? We can both yell. We're both very loud. We're both good at talking over people. Do you understand what kind of content you would have gotten? Maybe you would have liked it. Maybe it would have been great. Maybe I should have done it. I don't know. I was like, listen, like, I would like to work things out with her like adults. I would like to actually, you know, if she wants to talk something out, you know, my door is open, like, right? And, you know, we do have some things to talk about since she got so mad after after thinking that I was stream sniping Dylan when I wasn't actually stream sniping Dylan. She was getting lied to by Samantha Banana. She invited Samantha Banana in to do a brigade in her chat on me, right? You know, after saying don't brigade, right? She was, you know, Samantha Banana was in there. She was collaborating with the collaborator, as she said, and she ended up just saying that my stalker, maybe he did nothing wrong, because that's how you own somebody with facts and logic, is to say that maybe their stalker was based. That's what she said, chat. She was like, based Rain Stalker was Demon Mama's sentiments, apparently, towards my stalker. She just like fucking chilling with my stalker. Chilling with my fucking stalker in her stream. And she still hasn't apologized about that one, so believe me, chat. I know how Demon Mama can be. I mean, but, like, yeah, I'm not the type that wants to, like, I mean, I've had screaming matches before. With Rob Noor, that was based. Rob Noor needed to be screamed at. Rob Noor needed to be talked over. Rob Noor deserved that shit, okay? But, like, doing that with Demon Mama, I don't know. It just didn't feel right. It just did not feel right either time. Either time. But if she wants to debate me now on NCC bad or, you know, whether or not Adam Rainstalker is based, yeah, my door's open. Yeah, my Discord's open, sure. So what people, yeah, educators also know that they usually have to force kids into the room at least once. This is exactly what every debate row does. If I was debating Demon Mama, I would expect bad faith. I know, I'm just too nice, chat. Like, I was talking to Fogel about this earlier. You know, I have this weird thing with Haas. I don't know Haas at all, right? I can just rip on him all day long. I can rip on Haas, okay? But with like people like you know, Demon Mama and even Samantha to a certain extent, like sometimes I just feel sorry for them. Like sometimes I end up having empathy for some people I should be angry at, and you know, that's kind of how I feel towards Demon Mama. I feel like a lot of the stuff that she did because she was angry, and she probably regrets, and because of how Demon Mama is, she doesn't want to say those two words that would not fix everything, but make everything a little bit better. And you know what those words are, and you're never going to hear Demon Mama say those. You're never going to hear her. Samantha is just as bad. Yo, Samantha, yeah, no. Like, the more I know about Samantha, the worse it gets, right? You know, I think I was entirely too good faith with her. I thought she was just like a legit NCC bad. Like, she really thought that, like, and we got into some stuff that, like, you know, I think I accused her of being, I had a clip which, you know, implied that she was being, you know, making fun of Ezra's speech patterns for being Asian, and I didn't really realize that she interpreted his speech patterns as being African, even though he's, you know, Chinese, and she made fun of the, you know, speech pattern. She was doing the eat the poo poo guy from Uganda. She was saying that Ezra sounded like the eat the poo poo guy. So she was being racist in a completely different way, and I'm really sorry for being so bad faith and assuming that, like, I understood how she was being racist. Apparently Samantha Banana is able to be racist in unexpected and surprising ways. So sorry about that, Samantha. I misidentified the particular genre of your racism. And I will be forever, you know, sorry for that. So, yeah.
That was some of my chat like posted that. I had to make sure it wasn't a bad thing.
I see.
Oh, just as bad as Haas?
Yeah,
totally.
So, the math games are going to be more fun than everything else. Like, enough that the child will choose to pick the math games.
Dude, maybe.
Oh,
I don't know.
Maybe.
Eudaimonia, did you see the Dragon stream? Did you see the Dragon stream last week?
If they're not,
maybe.
wait, hold on a second. If they're not,
that Dragon stream was amazing. I still haven't done any content on that, but oh my god, Hans became the Dragon Master. Or the Dragon Wizard? Is that what he is now? He's the Dragon Wizard?
they're not, then
Dragon Wizard Hans.
Then do better.
Not
we should
Hans,
turn
Haas.
to this. We should here's
Haas,
what I'm
sorry.
saying here is we should turn to these things instead of forcing a child. If there's something that you have to force a child to do, like for example, here's an example of something I think you might actually have to apply force to a child to do. If a child has a cancerous tumor
You haven't watched for a little bit? Yeah.
on their neck and they're running around, you're like, we need to get this looked at, and they won't go in.
He's like swinging that cane around and he ends up bonking himself on the head because that's what a dragon wizard does, Chad. That's what a dragon wizard does.
Might have to bite that bullet and say,
dragon wizards don't necessarily know how many holes a woman has, right? And neither does Haas.
yep, we got to force this kid to go get that taken care of because it's going to kill the kid otherwise.
Listen, dragon wizards, they have so much more to do besides, you know, get to know female anatomy. They have, you know, they have dragons to what do they do with the dragons? What did the dragons? Did they ride the dragons? I think did they ride the dragons? Is that what they do?
There you go. I would be so much more open to that. But I think that should be used as a last resort. And in reality, I don't think we have to use force near to as much as we do right now. I think the reason we use force now is because it's deemed as expeditious to a specific end, and because, well, as it turns out, if you make it mandatory to go to school, you can push it off onto individual responsibility to blame people for when the system fails them. That's why I think we use force. I think you can build a system that uses no force and would achieve close to, if not 100% attendance, by actually choosing to actively pursue things that aren't force and pursue force only as a truly last effort.
And cool, you seem to take a lot of issue when I said use force as a last effort with the super child who, like, cannot function in society. They're willingly making choices.
Yeah, because you said that they should be institutionalized.
So wait, do they disagree? Did they actually disagree? Sometimes you have to force kids to clean their room. He's more busy worried about yes.
to get the
You
help
said
they
they should be
need? Absolutely.
institutionalized.
If they're a danger to
All right.
themselves, they're a
I
danger
mean, he's gotta get his Dragon Wizard cosplay just right, you know?
to
I
everybody
don't.
else.
Well, then I guess you and I just have different positions on.
No, but this is the last use of force.
Of
What
institutions.
what if they're gonna what if they're gonna Roblox themselves? Like, would you be okay with force then?
I mean, me personally, I would.
Well,
I would take.
What do you
Excuse me.
mean
Hold on
you
a second.
personally?
Wait.
What's the prescription?
Whoa! Don't. Oh, wow! We're gonna do the performative thing. Let's do it. All right.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, you want to hear? Me personally, if my kid was gonna, if my child was going to like kill
Oh my
themselves or was
God,
eminently
okay.
in physical danger, then
That
yes,
was
I would tackle them. I would be
interesting.
like, look, let's get you out of the danger. I know you'll see through this on the other side.
What
And then
about
they
other
probably
people's
would.
kids? Would you force them? Would you
No.
you wouldn't
It's-
let this you wouldn't let the state take children from parents when the
Wait,
kids say they're going to
what?
kill themselves and the parents aren't doing anything. You're really going to let that happen?
What?
Really?
Wait,
that's
oh my
that's what you're dying on
God.
right now?
Hold on a second. You're saying that are we talking about like an idealized world? I obviously think that right now in our current state of affairs, it's probably a good thing if a child is completely isolated from the rest of society that we have a mechanism in place by which they can get out of that. But no, I don't think. I don't believe. Hold on. No, you have to let me finish. If you ask me a question, no. I will stop it. Wait, Hans, I will stop right now. If you're gonna do this, I will stop right now.
You're allowed to run away. That's okay.
Bruh, I will stop right now.
I haven't raised my voice like.
All right, this is easy.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, this is easy.
All right,
yeah,
so-
no,
so-
because
so the- so the
because
que-
you're
so the-
talking over
so
me.
no, so the question-
You literally
so-
need to let me finish
so
on
the
this. You
question-
asked me a specific
so
question.
here's the question.
I will not.
And you didn't
Nope,
engage.
I will not do
engage
this.
with it.
I will not.
The question was, if your kid is going to Roblox themselves, will you stop them and institutionalize them? And
Yes,
you said,
I would.
And you said yes for them.
No.
No. And then
Stop.
so what I'm
Okay, I'm
asking
done.
then is
Hans, I'm done.
And then I'm
Hans,
and then I'm
consider
asking
this.
about for other people's
Hans,
kids. For
Hans,
other people's kids, would you be okay with the
Hans,
state doing that to other people's children if the kid's
Hans,
going to Roblox themselves? That's a yes or no
Hans,
question.
Hans, first of all, I'm actually done with this. Like, this is, we're not
Oh
going
my
to continue
God.
with this afterwards. Like,
Oh
I'm
my God.
actually done. And consider this a serious mark on our friendship, because I think this is remarkably ridiculous. First of all, you asked me two different questions. The first time you said, would I personally tackle my child if they were in physical danger? Yes, I would take that onto myself. I would take the risk of potentially harming my child physically
God.
onto my own hands. And if I hurt them in the process, that would be my goddamn responsibility because I chose to intervene there. Then, just very, very slippery, you just about 5 seconds ago changed the question when you said, no, wait, the question I asked you was whether you would have them institutionalized. And you never said that in the first situation, nor did I ever do that. This entire conversation has been you. Excuse me, I'm not even. Hans, are you for real?
I'll give that to
No,
you.
I'm done. Hans, I
think what I said was about like whether
Hans,
or not you would stop.
are you
them,
for
but,
real?
But then you asked. But then I asked,
Hans,
would you stop other
are you for
people's
real
kids
right
from
now?
doing this? It's a
Hans,
simple
is this
question.
really?
Let's not even talk
wait,
about
is this
institutionalizing. Let's
Hans,
just
Hans,
talk about
Hans,
stopping
Hans,
like the Robloxing.
Hans, I'm done. This is disrespectful and stupid.
Okay.
And I mean that. Like, I mean that on a very real way. Like, I came in here totally ready to have an actual conversation with you. And what keeps happening is you'll ask me a question, then you interrupt. And when I try to be able to actually answer that question, then you accuse me of talking too much. But if you ask me a question,
you
if you
take a long
excuse
time
me,
to explain
you're doing
things.
it right now. You're doing it right now. Oh, nice meme. I love that.
I mean, yeah.
Is that a problem? Do you have a problem that I talk too much?
I mean,
Is that a
gish
problem?
galloping is a thing. Like you don't really
You
stay
think
on.
that's-
You don't
you-
really
wait,
stay
you
on
think-
topic. Yeah.
You think that? Wait, where have I gish galloped? Give me a specific example of where I've
So
gish galloped.
I asked you whether you would stop your own child from Robloxing themselves, and then you
Yes.
said yes. And then the second question.
That's a direct answer, Hans. That's not a fucking gish gallop, dude.
And then the second question,
This is so stupid.
which you refused to
Dude,
answer,
come the fuck
was,
on. You know
are
that
you in
you know that
favor
you-
of a state interceding to stop someone from Robloxing themselves if
Oh,
their parents won't do it?
Oh,
That's a yes
hold
or no
on a
question.
second. Wait, do you want to watch back the VOD? I challenge you to go watch back the VOD because if you go back and watch back the VOD, you didn't let me finish that answer at all. Not even close. I didn't even
I
get
mean, 'cause you
halfway
started
through.
going through other stuff.
You're doing it again. You're doing it again right now. Literally every single time I respond, you start to interrupt me before I can even answer. This is incredibly frustrating.
All right, I'll give it.
And I know, and
give
it's
you, like, 2
funny.
minutes. Go
I guess like, no, I'm done. I literally don't want to engage with you anymore. I actually
Okay.
think this is one of the worst. I'm disappointed personally because like
Cool.
and whatever, like you can say that's whatever, but I came on here because you invited me on, you wanted to have a talk about this, and I've really genuinely tried to engage. I don't think I've thrown any.
I don't think
insults
you
at
did, but that's totally okay.
Really? Wait. Can you tell me where?
I know
wait,
you're disappointed in
you're
me. I mean,
what?
you made fun of like the concept of like getting a kid to go to school, even though you agreed that like in certain situations.
Wait, did I make fun of that?
Yes, you did. I don't think you engaged with the question. You talked about like how to. In regards to like what's the important thing, I explained to you that like not having an education in society is literally life crippling for children.
Wait.
And
I never engaged with that?
Yeah, you didn't engage with that whatsoever.
I did literally engage with that. I don't know, just watch back the VOD. Like, I don't know. This is absurd. I genuinely did not expect like this level of actual bad faith from you.
I'm so sorry.
Okay,
Yeah.
I got
I don't think
something
you are.
from you,
I'm
chat.
not.
I think you're exactly. That's what I thought.
All right,
So
have a good one.
And that's where we will end this.
I gotta ask you something.
Oh, that was excellent.
Fault was
Oh,
that
Jesus.
question mark.
She said we were done, so I took her out of the speaking to Hans thing.
Oh my god, what? Okay, oh wow. This is full of twists and turns. Wow, okay. She's making the threat of like, I'm gonna cut this conversation off, I'm gonna cut this conversation off, I'm gonna cut this conversation off, and the one to actually cut the conversation off was Hans, sorry, not Haas. Fuck, I got Haas on the brain, I don't know why. Anyway, whose fault was that? Was that Demon Mama's fault? Was that Hanz of Harkir? We might have to change the stream title, chat, because like both? Were they both made it weird? Because I'm not sure what happened there, but like I definitely can't blame Hans for that. What do you think? Who didn't lose the debate or who won the debate? Okay, how about whose fault was that? Because that was a mess. That wasn't like much of a debate at all. That was bullshit. I don't know what to say. Like, my initial... Yeah, it was 50-50. It's 50-50. Yeah, whose fault was that? Like, I don't know, chat. Like, it's early in the morning for me. I get the feeling it was, like, late at night or early in the morning or something for Demon Mama. She wasn't, like, in her best, mindset. Okay, so here's what went on in my mind. Did Hans do some debate bro shit? Yeah. But is Demon Mama used to those tricks? Yeah. And this kind of reaction both made it weird. Both made it weird as winning. That was a failed brand building exercise for both of them. What was supposed to happen? Do you think they wanted to have drama, but it just wasn't supposed to go like that? That was super weird. I mean, chat, understand that, Demon Mama has been part of kayfabe shit before with Dylan Burns. I thought maybe she was trying to get away from that. Like, my interpretation of her, the absolute depressing state of Twitch politics video was that she was kind of sick of all the debate bro bullshit, and she wasn't off of debates, right? But she wanted to kind of pull back, and she wanted to, reconceive her whole, reason for being on the platform. She wanted to kind of do more original content. She wanted to generate more of her own content. She wanted to be her own mama, was kind of what I got from that. But, I don't know. Alien versus Predator is what Destiny debates Vosh. If two people went to fight and they just kind of grappled on the ground in the mud, yeah, it just wasn't much of a debate, really. I could see how you'd say that if you look at Hans's face, you could read that as, like, a shit-eating grin. You could read him as being, like, unserious and just kind of fucking with Demon Mama. Or you could read him as just being like, that's, you know, how he is, and he was chill, and he was having a good time. He wasn't trying to be mean. Maybe that's just his face, right? I don't know, chat. I really don't know. I said their titles in order? What? Oh, Destiny's the alien and Vosh is the predator? So much I have so much marginalized social capital points. I like Vosh, but I had to make that joke. I blame more on Demon Mama. She didn't give another reason other than yummy food. Yeah, no caving. Oh, caving? Is that like a short for kayfabing? I'll cancel her. I'll do it. Yeah, it's not good for Demon Mama. It's really not good for Demon Mama. It makes it look like she can't deal with discourse, right? But when something like this happens, actually this is giving me kind of like RGR Demon Mama vibes, except with Hanz instead of Demon Mama and Demon Mama instead of RGR. That was weird. That was weird. And in those cases, I usually, it's usually like, okay, so one person freaked out. That was Demon Mama. The question now becomes, was Hanz insufferable? What was Hanz, there were some times when Demon Mama was trying to get out an answer and Hanz interrupted her. However, that is normal for Debate Bros. And she did talk a lot. She did, you know, I don't know if you want to call it gish gallop. It actually kind of reminds me of what I did when I talked to Destiny, of just like I got into this long explanation, like where, you know, I was kind of hoping that Destiny, I would jog his memory or make him think of something and he'd jump in and interrupt me, but he never did, right? And I was ready to keep going, because like if you don't keep going, it's awkward. You're just like, what do you think about that? And he's like, you know, like, right? I mean, usually you don't have that issue with people who understand the banter, but I don't know. Maybe I got sleepstony that day. Who knows, chat? I think he just wanted to play. I think he just wanted to play some beautiful music on the piano. So that's what we got that day. That's what we got. Hanz literally did nothing wrong. He barely even spoke. Yeah. I mean, if he did. Like, does anybody think that Hanz was, like, leading her down, like, was... Okay, so the problem I have with Debate Bros and the logic tree shit is, like, if you want to ask me a question, fine. I'll answer the question, right? But if you want to ask me a question, and then I answer, and then you got another question, and then I answer, and then you got another question, and I get the feeling that you're, like, you got this mapped out, like, for, like, I'm working you over here. I'm kind of, like, listen, I'm not going to be, like, bad faith and try to be slippery, and I don't think I ever was. I've answered every question that our relevant gave me, right? Even with the blackface question, which, you know, my stun lock in that case came from being shocked at how bad faith that motherfucker was. He literally took a debate from, like, 0 to, like, are you into blackface? Right? That's so bad faith. Irrelevant is the master of bad faith. Like, he's one of the worst Debate Bros I've ever dealt with, right? I don't think that's what Demon Mama was getting here, though. I don't know. Hanz was not playing any games that she wasn't ready to play. Yeah, right? I mean, this is her thing, right? You know, I mean, she does that. I don't know. I just almost feel like she was just like in a weird... Okay, so more people are blaming Demon Mama than blame Hanz of Harkir, but almost 2/3 of you feel like both people made it weird. I want to say that's right, but I actually can't really think of something to blame, like, Hanz for. Like, there were some interruptions that would have been annoying, but at the same time, you can understand somebody interrupting, you know, when they're you know, when they haven't talked much. I don't know, chat. Any more votes? The whole paradigm is deeply sick. I don't know, maybe, did we just see what's wrong with debate culture? Did we just see why this whole thing sucks? Why this whole thing's gotta change? Why there needs to be a new way of doing things? A new way of handling the discourse? A new way of handling the banter? A new way of doing the back and forth, Demon Mama? Is it possible? Is it possible that a new way of managing the drama even is on its way? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. But that thumbnail is fucking weird, and that debate was fucking weird, and I don't know what I just watched. The debate subject matter. That was a weird debate topic. Yeah, that really was. Like, right, because, like, Hanz literally did nothing wrong. I mean, if you... Yeah, you're... Brutus, I can't think of anything that Hanz did wrong. Demon Mama, you know... I feel like... I seriously feel like it was late for her or something. Does anybody know... Did this happen at the end of her stream? If this happened at the end of her stream, then I kind of understand it. Like, it almost sounds like, you know, she just wasn't... Like, she'd been streaming too long. Yeah, because she'd had a break, right? Was this at the end of her stream? Or was this earlier in the stream? Yeah, because the end of the stream was the discussion of the Bosch and the neo-pronouns, right? So, was this... Yeah, definitely an off debate for Demon Mama. Depending on how you interpret Hans's, like, you know, facial gestures, maybe Hanz did nothing wrong, you know? I could see some people seeing those, you know, grins as being, like... Because some people were saying that they felt like he was, like, kind of, like, you know, just, like, anticipating, like, you know, that dunk. Like, you know, he's Gendo, right? You know, he's got the, you know what I'm saying, chat? He's but it, I don't know. I can't really tell. I don't know the guy, and I don't know that those aren't just, like, normal, like, mannerisms that really mean nothing. So, yeah, I can't find any fault with Hanz. Demon Mama, probably a little bit, like, I don't know, it's not a good night for her, not a good look for her, and, it's going to make her a little bit harder for her to do debates in the future, although I'm sure there will still be people who want to debate her. And with Hanz, does anybody think that this was an ambush? Does anybody feel like this was a setup? Is there any thought that, like, you know, Hanz... Because that would be the dig against Hanz. That's what I was accused of doing to Dylan when Dylan crashed and burned on Bird Brains. And, you know, like... It wasn't a setup. I wasn't trying to own Dylan. I was really hoping we could come to an understanding about how panels affect marginalized people and how tropes are pernicious and they get spread around. And if you let a gish gallop on tropes, you're doing harm to that marginalized community, right? So, is that everybody for the poll? Has everybody voted? Anybody else want to vote on... Hanz was arguing a bunch of lib nonsense. That's something wrong. I know, but, like, that wasn't really the substance of the debate, right? So with 14 votes, we've got 2/3 of you almost saying both made it weird. About a fifth of you think that Demon Mama made it weird, and oh god, what the fuck is this fraction? I don't know how to put this into fractions, chat. What is this, like... I can't do 14% as a fraction. 14%! We'll just say fucking 14%. I'm trying to make it fractions. I don't know why. I don't know why, chat. Yeah. In general, like Hans is not somebody like I agree with. Like I don't think we are ideologically anywhere close. I mean, like I said, I haven't really thought of this issue that much. I kind of assumed that just like kids going to school and the mandatory thing was the only way. Demon Mama definitely brought back, some memories of, how school felt and how tough it could be emotionally, and how, like, the help that kids have in dealing with school, especially neurodivergent kids, it's not sufficient. It's not anywhere close to sufficient, right? Hans's contention was, well, we should work on that too, right? So in a way, I almost feel like they don't have that much of a difference. It's like more their way of phrasing things that had them on the wrong, because there was a whole thing where like Demon Mom was talking about, like, Haas was like, basically, would you, if your kid was, in danger of committing suicide, would you, bring them to a facility to give them help, right? And she was like, yeah. And like, I'm not sure exactly where they broke down. He did strategic interruptions. Okay. I mean, if that's what went on, I guess that is fucked up. I didn't notice it. I mean, it came off enough like... See, this is why I don't like interrogation as a form of debate. This is the irrelevant school of debate, okay? And I don't like it. That's not right, all right? If you want to ask me a question, ask me a question. But there's your question. The rest of it should be a debate or a discussion or whatever it's going to be, a back and forth, right? I don't want to be constantly answering questions. And I think when you set things up like that, and this kind of entitlement the debate bros have to, being able to ask you a list of questions to get you into their, like, spot where they're like, aha, you support blackface. And it's like, no, I don't, bitch. And you fucking know it. No, I don't. And you fucking know it. You bad faith motherfucker. You logic distorter. Like, are relevant. Because what he's doing is he's taking two things that are not analogous, and I described the reasons that they're not analogous, right? Race, and they shouldn't have to be, like, chat, to make the assumption that race and gender are analogous? That's kind of weird. Why would they be? Why would they be analogous? Do you really think these are parallel constructs? They're not. And that's my problem with the irrelevant debate on gender ID. He was like, kind of going after Demon Mama's argument, also trying to cancel me, also trying to imply that I I'm a big supporter of Justin Trudeau and his blackface. I'm just like, yes, Justin, based. No, that's not me irrelevant. Everybody fucking knows it. Everybody knows you are a bad faith piece of garbage. And yeah, I didn't get that same kind of energy from Hans, but other people seem to have seen it. Nothing strategic about the interruptions. He was keeping her on track. There is the case to be made that that she did talk a lot more than him, but that's also a factor of her being kind of forced into this question. And also okay, debate bros. If there's any debate bros in the audience, how do you decide who gets to ask the questions? Right? Is there a rule to that? Is it just who takes the initiative? Gets to start questioning. When you do those logic trees, is that normal? Is it just all right, who wants to go first, right? Is it like wrestling where you're just wait, no, wrestling doesn't even work like that, right? Because you start off standing, and then it's only if you get put down on the ground that you start from the below position, right? I don't understand how this shit's supposed to work, honestly. The public school system, as it exists, is inherently flawed. But people like Hans would rather tinker around... That is a good argument, Lauren, actually. That is a good argument. Would rather tinker around the edges and punish outliers than seriously rethink it. Yeah, because Hans keeps saying that he's in favor of all the stuff that Demon Mama's, talking about. But that stuff, year after year, with everybody being in favor of it, it doesn't get done. It doesn't get taken care of. And yeah, it's hard to without a moderator. Huh? Yeah, that's a good point. Seriously, rethink it. How? I don't think he's against rethinking it. I think he's just for it being mandatory. It did look like he was trying to push things in a certain direction with the way that he acted. Did anyone else notice that, or am I wrong on that? I think you're wrong. He was obviously just trying to stick to the topic. Yeah, I mean, a lot of what he did was normal debate bro discourse, right? And if you're gonna accept that, if you're gonna be part of that, if that's, you know, if you kind of like agree to that, like, you know, fine. I don't think people necessarily need to agree to that, though. Like, I think that when somebody starts to do the question and answer thing, like, to get me to go on that, they need a good explanation. They need a reason, all right? Like, you know, like, sell it to me, all right? You know, I'm gonna ask you a series of questions and define the parameters, because otherwise I don't know. Am I really having a debate, or am I just answering questions for you to be like, aha, gotcha? And like, the fucked up thing is that with Irrelevant, the gotcha doesn't need logical consistency. He just needs to provide enough of the perception that, oh, she took a long time answering the extremely bad faith question that I asked her, that she was surprised by, because who the fuck would ask that question? Who the fuck would go to that assumption that, oh yeah, no, it's because she likes blackface, clearly, right? You know, that's supposed to be the metaphor. That's supposed to be the analogy, right? And for you to actually try to put the bullet in my mouth and to force my jaws together on it, that's what it is. That's what it is. He was trying to forcibly make me bite a bullet that I wasn't biting on. I wasn't even biting on. And it's just fucked up. Because, like, that would be the thing, is that, like, the person that bites the bullet on that issue is the person that says, yes, Justin Trudeau based, right? And, like, you didn't have the right person to give you that answer. And you should know that. You should know, and you do know that, right? You were just going for a dunkaroo. Going for a dunk, but feeling like the sussy washed up debate bro that you are irrelevant. Anyway, chat, that is about it for this stream. I'm trying to decide, do people know about the Samantha, or it's not Samantha, but it was on Samantha Banana's Twitter, but it's the Sansol Lady Raincloud drama. That's the other thing that's gone on today. I'm not sure how much I want to show you of that, because Lady Raincloud ends up saying the F slur, and it's in a way in which she's, you know, she's angry in the debate, and she says it as an expression of, like, you know, frustration. Like, is this how I'm being looked at here, right? She's not using the F slur in a derisive way. She's not using the F slur, you know, to make fun of anybody, or to, you know, like, there's no pejorative applied to that, right? She's just kind of, like, interpreting, like, you know, how she's being looked at in a given situation, asking, like, you know, is this, like, just, like, you know, transphobia, right? You know, being that, like, a transphobe would call a trans woman the F slur, right? I guess we can at least look at... I kind of wanted to keep this to one subject, but, like, I also know that we can't deal with this stuff on YouTube. She was very upset at Sansol. I don't know if I would want to watch that. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about too, is that we might get... all I could show you would probably be a decontextualization of the situation, right? All I could show you... Samantha's clip is definitely decontextualized. Supposedly... Neko, let me know. Look at Lady Raincloud's, because, like, if Lady Raincloud's being accused of doing the fucked up thing here, maybe we should see what Lady Raincloud's presentation of what she said is, right? Because I know it's not that she was trying to be homophobic, right? It's decidedly not that, but it resulted in Sansal's stream being banned, and a lot of people are really upset by that. Now, Sansal, if you don't remember, was the one who played host to Flamenco, Nazi VTuber, actually, Flamenco, and a lot of other sussy bakas in the cross-examination of Katarana. And whatever you feel about that drama and whether Dylan exploited it or, there was an attempt made to kind of, whether that was think that was a power grab or whatever, you gotta admit that what happened to Katarana on Sansal's stream was wrong, right? Victims being cross-examined like that, it turns my stomach. Right? It's exactly the wrong way to go about it. But it's what happens in this sexist society. It's what happens on this sexist platform, right? Is that the scrutiny is automatically turned on the victim first as default, and that is the problem. Sounds like she has been dogpiled on Twitter. Okay, so yeah, I don't think we can watch that part of it, right? She's really mad, and I don't know, it's not, probably not her best moment, like, right? There's a lot of yelling, it's very contentious, and yeah, she uses the F slur in the way that I described. Everything about that drama was weird. Dylan's apology, oh god, yeah. No, there was so much weirdness in that drama, right? It was so bizarre, and I don't think that I don't like how it turned out. Okay, you can say, like, listen, you could make an argument that based on what Samantha told Prime, that Prime might have been oblivious to what was going on, but anyone who's oblivious to the effect of their power as a panel host is not the right person to be a panel host. And that's what these people can't take. There are so many people that are so invested in Prime Kai as a center of gravity for Twitch politics. And that is what pulled his shit out of the fire. That is what pulled Prime's, shit out of the fire. Like I said, you could make a case that, like, was this exploited by Dylan? Was this used like a football by Dylan? Was there an attempt to, like, consolidate the panel scene? I mean, you could make that argument. I'm not sure if I would, right? I as much as I've had problems with Dylan, I don't have enough evidence to say that, right? But some people, do make that case. But you can't really... you can also make the case that the only reason that somebody that, who did what Prime did to Katarana, whether he meant to or not, I'm saying, okay, maybe there was no malice. Maybe you could say Prime himself is not a bad person in that situation, right? I haven't looked into it enough to say that, but, like, if you interpret Prime as having just no idea what was going on, right? Then you gotta say that person that hits on somebody and then has no idea what the problem with that is, that's not the right person to be a panel host. You need somebody to be a panel host who's going to be extremely responsible, who's not going to get themselves into a situation where their power is brought to bear on somebody that they have a crush on. That is a fucked up situation, and that should have never happened. And that happened, if you interpret the best face interpretation, the Prime didn't do anything wrong on purpose interpretation tells you that Prime is so fucking oblivious that he can cause harm without realizing it. Somebody who can cause harm without realizing it is not the person that needs to be trusted with that power. I'm sorry, Twitch politics. Come get your dude, okay? Come get your dude. And I know he's really useful to you, and that's why you pulled his shit out of the fire. but he is absolutely causing harm, whether by his own malice or not. Which, like I said, I can't make heads or tails of. So, yeah, sad situation. LRC, for those wondering, during the conversation with Sansol, things did get heated. I used the F slur in relation to myself, or at least, or at least I thought it was understood that way, LRC, and it seems to be the cause for the suspension. So there's a 1-day suspension of Sansol from the platform, not for allowing the cross-examination of Katarana by a fucking Nazi VTuber. It's never the things that the people have actually done wrong, right, that get them the suspension, but rather for, you know, having had that happen on his stream. So, yeah, like, I mean, I guess, yeah, you probably didn't deserve the suspension for that. Still not a suit. And, like, if you look at, like, what was being argued there, chat, it sounds to me like Sansol was making the irrelevant argument in the gender ID debate. Which, yeah, fuck that shit. Fuck that. That's fucking bullshit, okay? I want to hear that shit. You can take your RGR takes and get the fuck out of here. RGR is a fucking right-winger, okay? And, you know, if that's where you're inclined to, you know, your sympathies lie, I'm sorry. I just can't help it. Self-ID is a fucking human right. That's my take on it, so... But yeah, like, I don't think Sansol deserved to be banned for what happened, and I'm sorry that did happen to him. And that is my more than 2 cents. Anyway, chat, thank you for spending the afternoon with me. I'm assuming it was afternoon for most of you. I'm thinking I might play some more Persona tonight, right? Because we're getting really far. I was stuck in a cave level, and I couldn't find where I was supposed to go next, but, like, it's one of those things where there's, like, a hole in the wall and you don't see it. So I looked at I hope you don't think too badly about this, but I looked at a walkthrough. So when I play that again, I'm going to know exactly where to go. We're going to get through this, right? But there's some interesting plot elements coming up. Like, we got Maya, you know, my girl, best girl, right? And she's been replaced, maybe, by a yellow-eyed version of herself. Yeah, if you know Persona, you kind of know what this means. You kind of know what's going on here. And she's acting sort of weird. She's all about, like, you know, there's no forgiveness. Forgiveness is bullshit. It's just a way to get away with shit. Like, right? She's being very unforgiving, which is very uncharacteristic to Maya Amano. So we're going to get back to that hopefully tonight. I don't know if I've got any more to do. We might do some more politics, some more React on Twitch. You never know. Listen, when I've got a video game stream, sometimes it's not just a video game stream. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes that's where the really spicy tea gets spilled. So make sure to catch my video game streams too, because, you know, in addition to playing Persona 2 Innocent Sin, I'm also talking about all the drama and all the shit, and chat, it never fucking ends. Thank you once again. And should I give us, like, some Ghostbusters to, like, play us out? Here we go.